Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. After a bit of a muted session yesterday, we saw most of North American markets finish little changed on the day. Futures back in positive territory to start things off this morning for Wednesday. A little bit of decision-making happening, directional decision-making happening at that. The S&P ended the day yesterday about 0.2% to the upside. Everything else about the same to the downside, so it was fairly flat at the end of the day. We saw some reopening stocks leading the way, some travel names specifically. United Airlines was up about 1.5% at the end of the session yesterday. UAL came out and said that their domestic leisure fares, sales anyways, of those topping 2019 levels as of yesterday. So right back to pre-pandemic sales for UAL. We'll have a look at some of the travel names coming up. The meme stocks moving again. Obviously, we'll talk about AMC and GameStop coming up here already. Just impressive volume in the pre-market here for both. On earnings, we have Nordstrom's, JWN. There was Pinduoduo, Li Auto reported. Urban Outfitters coming up tonight. There's Snowflake and NVIDIA to look forward to as well. PDD up 5% right now. It's Wednesday, May 26, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. There we go. Look at how things stand at this point. Yeah, as I mentioned, just sneaking into positive territory there for the Dow, about 0.25%. The NASDAQ looking good, though, 0.5% to the upside. The S&P about the same. You can see the TSX futures here in Toronto, 0.5% as well. Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yeah, we got back above 40,000 overnight there for BTC, guys. Don't blink or you might miss it. Just like that, we're right back to 40,000 here for Bitcoin. So some of the crypto stocks on watch as well, all with nice gains to start things off, including Coinbase. But, I mean, how do we not start things off with some of these meme stocks again today?
Well, I mean, we look. Obviously, we're going to talk a little bit about AMC, GameStop. I saw a few names in there, some that we're used to, like COS and Microvision. Someone was saying that Nikola is apparently a meme stock. I actually didn't know, Sean, that Nikola was included in that group, but or whatever. Either way, lots of room to the upside. Lots of moves to the upside in that space. It doesn't mean that's the only place we're going to be trading today. There was a bit of it's a little overwhelming with the names. There was some retail earnings one way, Nordstrom's testing to the downside, and then Urban pushing to the upside as well, and maybe like Zscaler, which is a big time move to the upside, up over 10%. So there is a lot to look at, a lot to trade. Then you come back and start thinking about the automakers. You had Li Auto even reported. So it should be a wild one so far this morning. Meme stocks are on the move, but that's not the only thing around here. You got that 250 reference price, and there's even a direct listing today. So just about everything on board for this hump day, Sean.
Yeah, no, things have been going good for us lately. We bought Coinbase at 231. We talked about that. That's now almost 250, like Neil said. We bought NVIDIA recently at 604. NVIDIA's booming. I don't have any love for AMC other than trading it, which I think we'll be doing a lot today. Already 10 million shares. It's on here on the buy-in balance. And yeah, let's just congratulations to everyone that's been long AMC. I had $2 calls 6 months ago when this first started up, and we were able to make some money on that. But yeah, what a run AMC's been on. You can see here, guys, up to $18. And I was saying this when we were here before, that actually on eSignal, I didn't have it going up this high. 25, 26, maybe that was in the pre-market. But basically, this $20 level, we're almost back to that. And who would have thought that was coming off 20 down to 6, and then slowly, kind of like a normal stock, back to the upside. We were talking about it. It's embarrassing because when we were down here 8 and 9, I was saying that the true value of this thing was probably between 8 and 9, maybe even 7. But what a great spot that would have been to pick it up. So we'll watch AMC today off $18. On the sticky note, I put some buys a little bit lower, guys. I put some buys into the 16 range. I think we could fall back down a little bit. We just closed yesterday, guys, 16.25. Like, come on, we actually had some of this move yesterday. Neil and I were trading it. Neil was short, so was I. Reversed into the long through 16. But let's wait to see if it does come back in. I still think AMC has a lot of room, even to go to the upside here, man. 11 million shares already, and it's only 8:30, so we're in control now. I like Beyond Meat today. And yeah, the sticky note is fire today, I think, anyways. We'll see what happens with it. But I love Ford on Investor Day. We're going to talk about that off our watch list.
The Reddit army back in full effect right across the board. So we'll have a look at more of the individual stocks included in that group. I want to show you this real quick before we go too far here. ZipRecruiter, the direct listing that Neil was mentioning there, 2.4 billion on the market cap. There's an $18 reference price. That's kind of small. I know it's tough to see, but $18 reference price. Again, a direct listing. That's not the IPO price. That's just a reference that the exchange gives it. But ZIP on the NYSE. We'll have a look at ZipRecruiter if we get to it, or if they open it before the actual show comes to an end at 11 a.m. this morning. Let's start things off by getting over to the desk and saying good morning to Miss V.
Hi guys, I wish you all the luck today. It's going to be an interesting day, and please make sure to like this video right now. Let's get it started, Brandon.
Let's get it started, guys. We'll jump right into some of these meme stocks moving around again this morning. Yeah, Sean was just mentioning there, 11 million shares already. There's this PIRS, not necessarily in that group. There's news around that, but PIRS already. What is this at? 7.5 million shares on the morning. So, I mean, there's so many ways we could go here to start things off this morning, guys. But AMC on watch, GameStop on watch. We saw Nikola jump up late in the afternoon yesterday when these started to go. We saw that costs starting to go as well. First thoughts here, guys. AMC looking pretty strong.
I mean, look, and we said this before, that can be a little bit overwhelming. I just want to cover, you'll see, I was actually in this PIRS when it made that move up. I broke out 465. Wish I'd reversed to a bit of a long, but that was never going to be the play. And you got to pick your spots. I don't think today is the day that you want to be, sort of averaging in, holding things too far against you. That's coming one way. I mean, that's actually just breaking to the upside here. But I just noticed, not just noticed, but AMC, a little bit of consolidation. Now, I'm pulling the chart back on purpose, just so you can see the outsized afternoon move that you did have when it broke 15 even. And then look, it was even a 16 break in the after show that we were able to reverse off of after shorting it. That's what Sean was mentioning here. So this pre-market, I mean, it's about 10 million shares and $1 move to the upside, but pales in comparison to what we did see yesterday. I have about 10.5% from here to that high, which I think is about 2036. So there is still room to run before you get to a point where I think you're likely to have some obvious sellers at that 20 level. All that said, I mean, it does feel like it's trying to make at least a little bit of one of those healthy pullbacks or dip buys. And I tend to favor doing that as opposed to breakouts in the meme stocks. Typically, it's just been in my experience, like those even breaks, a lot of times there's those quick little shakeouts off of those. So if you're trying not to get shaken out of a trade like that, like buying into VWAP or buying into support is usually a pretty decent way to go long. If we see 20 today, I'll probably be looking to short off of that level just because it's at, the high is above 20, but I think that psychological level should be an interesting little turnaround for a scalp trade. And again, if you can get like a really tight stop, like 5, 6, 7 cents, you got to be involved in it. Interestingly enough, there's probably a half dozen names on here. I'll be also watching costs because I've done okay on that one as well. And we talked about Microvision and Nikola, which I will not be trading Nikola today. There's too much to look at to jump to any symbol that for whatever reason, despite the direction overall being good that I have right, I'd never have any good luck trading Nikola in the first 15 or 20 minutes of the day. So I'll stay away from that one.
Okay, so I'll take a little bit of an opposite side here. I'm going to take a breakout. I think you got to take breakouts in all of these meme stocks, man. I had a great example just a couple days ago with AMC when it broke that 14, guys. And I don't know if it's going to break 18. It already broke. It broke to 18.10. But yeah, yesterday this was the stock that we had. Obviously, when we broke 14, it was absolutely cash money to the upside. I think 18's a little bit higher than where we're at. That's that 14, and then it ripped to 15. It ripped even higher than that. And there was more breaks on even levels, right? So here's 15 holding upside. What I'm going to look at here though is MVIS for the break. So we'll watch AMC. I do prefer, like Neil was mentioning there, a pullback in AMC. So that's written on the sticky note. And again, guys, thank you for the talk on the chat about the sticky note. And I'm going to talk about a name that people were asking me about here, MVIS. So right here, $16. So I like the multi-day breakout. It's very similar to what we're looking at with Beyond Meat. We are above the 50-period moving average there on the daily chart. So let me just look what it looks like on a 20-period or a 20-minute. I keep saying period, but I guess that's right. Yeah, there's $16 as well. So it's 16 right here on Microvision. Here's the 20. It's touched 16 on the 18th, which a couple days ago, 5, 6, 7 trading days ago. So we're gonna play this one. I mean, the high really. I mean, if you're really going to get it, I mean, it's going to be 1630 is that very high there, but there's some consolidation here at 16. So we'll trade it, but we're going to be very weary of the fact that it could fail because it already failed up here and it failed yesterday as well at 16. So let's see. I mean, I went to Swaggy Stocks. This is a pretty good website to go to get the ticker sentiment for Wall Street bets, and like it's GME, it's AMC, it's Space, it's Roblox, it's Tesla, it's the big and bad Palantir, there's Coinbase, and then there's MVIS, right? And so it's not super talked about on Wall Street bets, but we'll play it. We'll play Microvision on a break and see if we can't get that one. So it's one of my better trade ideas of the day. So we're talking meme stocks. So I like MVIS to break through 16, Brendo.
All right, about 40 minutes to go here. Let's bring in Mark Roberts, president of Sun Lake Strategies, get his take on what to expect coming up for a Wednesday. Good morning, Mark. Good to see you once again. A busy one, to say the least, here to start things off, which is great. We love lots of action and lots of things to talk about. I want to talk about these reopening stocks first off, because we saw a really interesting note from UAL, kind of flew under the radar a little bit yesterday, coming out saying that their leisure fares, domestic leisure fares, now topping pre-pandemic 2019 levels. So is it safe to say, we give the all clear here as far as, looking at these more on a positive note once again?
I think I'm the only one of all the people that I know who hasn't flown at least 2, 3, or 4 times. Everybody I know has been on a plane. Everybody I know is comfortable with the plane, and their cleaning air systems are second to none. So it's a green light.
I mean, these have had, pretty impressive moves over the past. It's only been, the last week or so that we've seen a bit of a bounce back in here. Are there 1 or 2 names in this group? And I include, the hotels, the casinos. We saw MGM with a nice move this week on separate news. We'll talk about that in a second here. But also the retailers, a lot of those with earnings this week.
I'm looking at Urban this morning. The numbers were phenomenal. The chart is just set up for an incredible breakout, I think. The amount of questioning going into retailing clients shows that everybody greater than 60%, some as high as 70%, are reporting that people are looking to redo their outfits. Macy's, Nordstrom, Kohl's, those stocks, Urban, Abercrombie, pick your flavor of the month. That's the group to be in for the next 3 to 4 weeks.
All right, just saw this headline came out 8:38 here. So Amazon and MGM looks like they've signed that agreement. It's $8.5 billion. If I scroll up here, yeah, here we go. $8.45 billion. So it looks like the deal's done for Amazon to acquire MGM Studios from MGM. We saw that stock move on that news, or the rumor of that news, earlier in the week here. Do we get continuation today?
I don't know about continuation, but this is certainly narrowing the playing field. Sony has already said that their studios are not for sale, but you have a number of other companies that have studios or connection to studios. This is going to be a game changer. Amazon certainly needed it for its prime customers, and it gives them everything from James Bond to thousands of TV shows this is a home run for Amazon.
I want to get your take real quick here before we bring in the guys. The crypto stocks, we saw for the first time that I can remember anyway, some analysts looking at the smaller ones, and I'm looking at Mara and Riot. I saw that you made a note of FBR initiating coverage on both with positive notes here. Do we get to a point where we have to almost start looking at the Maras, the Riots, the SOSs of the world and start to actually include them in this group?
I think you have to. I still am quite worried about regulation. I'm worried about countries like Iran, China, India putting the squash on much of the mining. So I don't know how it plays out here, but this is a regulated situation that will probably come up today in the House and the Senate hearings with the head bankers coming before congressional leaders.
Stockfather himself. So, Mark, you said, and look, you said retail, and you talked about some of those retail names there. And look, Urban Outfitters is looking fantastic. I'm with you. I agree. People are going to redo their wardrobes. Maybe not me because I'm boring, but a lot of people are going to be doing that as they get up and about. But Nordstrom's, it was obviously trading lower here. They did have a bit of a miss, and you look at this daily chart, which is a little bit different, is what I will try to say than the Urban Outfitters. If you're talking about a break, potentially you're looking in the other direction. So I came in today thinking to myself, okay, if it breaks this 33 to the downside, and you like this space, oh baby, 30 looks pretty good, those December lows. Are you positive on this one as well, or did you say, look, forget about Nordstrom's, get your exposure somewhere else. Don't try to bottom pick one of these names because you think the value is good if you can just be part of a breakout to the upside. So I'm just very curious as to your thought on this name particularly, because obviously the report was not that fantastic, and the market seems to want to beat it up this morning.
Yeah, I would step aside. It just so happens it's in that space. It may be a hiccup for them, but I still need to read more about what's happening with Nordstrom specific. But the list is 6, 7, or 8 different names, Gap, Abercrombie, and so on. They all overlap in some way. So you really have to read between the lines to see why Nordstrom got hit. But you're right, if it breaks that level, all bets are off. But certainly I would look for that 30 area to see whether or not you could pick some up cheap if it should see renewed buying.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah, maybe it's just like the high-end aspect of it, and then people need to actually get into office spaces. I don't really, it's hard to say, and like you say, you have to sort of round back into it. Now, I want to put you on the spot just a little bit here because, there's potential changes in the infrastructure, at least what it might end up being, that infrastructure type of deal. And whichever way it does work out, I've been looking at, if this will load up here, I've been looking at U.S. Steel here. I know that you can talk Caterpillar, we can talk about some other names, but certainly you're getting some pullback, and it's made a lot of sense. I mean, there was a 30 high, which we talked about here on the show, but it made some sense to trim some of these names, look to get maybe a bit of a rotation, but we're bouncing right off the 50 period on U.S. Steel. You have a bit of consolidation off of this area. So, what are your thoughts on where this infrastructure bill is heading? Is it going to be more, do you think it's going to be more the sort of traditional, and will that lend itself back towards maybe getting some money back into your U.S. Steels at these levels, or maybe your Caterpillars or some other names down the line?
I think until something is done, whether it's 800 billion or a trillion, it's going to also question how it gets funded. Right now, most of it is not funded. The smartest thing to have done in the beginning, and it's hindsight now, was to bring private sector in and let the private sector and the public sector work in tandem to be able to pull this off. But Mr. Biden didn't go that route. So for me, I think you're going to see more pullback in here, and that goes for Nucor, that goes for STLD, that goes for U.S. Steel, that goes for SUM, VMC. It goes for the whole group. They all look the same. They all look like they pull back. And yes, they all will be in the buy list if and when something triggers.
Thanks for your thoughts there. Now, just want to talk a little bit about maybe sort of short interest in certain companies and what that can do to price action. Obviously, we're going to be looking at some of these meme stocks and whether or not what you believe in an AMC or a GameStop. Do you have any overall thoughts relative to? I just want to put one against the other here. Relative to each other, AMC and GameStop. Obviously, AMC is a bit of a reopen play as well. Is this something that you'd ever consider like a short-term trade, just because either momentum or because of it's a 20% short interest, or maybe the aspect of the reopen? Do you have any thoughts when it comes to these particular names, or ones that you would consider looking at, or ones that you'd say throw out the window because it's not necessarily a fundamental play in your view? Or just give me your thoughts between sort of the AMCs and the GameStops of the world here.
Okay, so let's go back to my original premise, which is you look for clusters. And if you look for your clusters, you had numerous clusters around that $8.30, $8.50 area. And that's where I would have been buying AMC. At this point, I probably wouldn't be chasing it. I'm going to wait for another pullback, and I'm sure you'll get a series of pullbacks in here. GME is a little bit more difficult because you've seen management changes, you've seen the whole situation going on. But from this point of view, the resistance has been 188, 189. So once it broke through 188, 189, GME was a buy. So that's looking at it at the other end of the spectrum. But again, forget about what they do. Look at the chart once you've isolated the names you're interested in.
There you go. And Mark, I love putting you on the spot there. Get a little bit of meme stop action for you. Look at the chart, look at those levels, and play the momentum. As always, it's an absolute pleasure to have you, Mr. Stockfather. Best of luck in all of your trading. And let's see how those retails do today. I think Urban's going to be a strong one.
And look for the AMAT to pull back. Still a winner.
I love some, you know what's interesting? I love some AMAT. I actually sold a little AMAT yesterday, but I wanted to get some money into Coinbase. So I got to sell some Silvergate as well if I'm going to add to Coinbase. That's a rule of mine. I don't want to overall add too much. We'll get into that maybe another time, but I don't want to add too much into that exposure in that side of the crypto space. So I've got to sell some Silvergate to get some more Coinbase, Mark. But thanks as always for that little point.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Take care.
All right, guys, upgrades and downgrades. Yeah, Urban on here today. Urban Outfitters, here we go. JP Morgan, in fact, with a price target of 38 on the upgrade side for URBN. We'll look at that a little bit closer coming up. Agilent Technologies, I noticed in the pre-market here, looking pretty strong to start. Yeah, AMC over here, but clearly a downgrade doesn't mean much today, guys, for AMC.
No.
No, it doesn't matter. But what does matter, well, I mean, we'll see what happens with AMC. But here we go, guys. And there you go, Anthony. You asked me about this break. You asked me what it was talking about on the sticky note, and here we go. We're already monstrous, guys. We're almost at one-time daily here as we go. So I'm offering some at 25 here. We already took some out, 15s, 17s, 20s. Now we're going to get 25. So again, guys, like, you got to watch out for this. MVIS, it's actually right here, 16 break, multi-day high, right there, right? So we're in this name. We're cashing out. I don't know. I'm not filled at 25 yet, but hopefully I will be soon getting filled out. There it is, out at 25 a little bit there on some of those prints. So now we'll wait to see how high this one can fly. And here we go again. Nice little trade to start the day on MVIS. We're going to go 1 for 1 here. Hopefully it doesn't fade back in. No real upside targets for this one. We've stopped last time at 1680. But again, who knows where this could fly to? 1750, 16. I mean, 1680 is pretty nice. We're going to get some out at 1650 as we go. But hey, guys, there it is once again, man. You take out the big stick. Normally, we don't do this in the pre-market, but when the level looks that juicy, you gotta be on board. That's a good one, Brendan.
Let's get going here. There's so much to talk about. We're going to need possibly a little extra time to get through everything. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you sign up for our free watch list. Every single morning, comes out to you at 8:30. Valeria will help you out with the link in the chat. Zscaler, ZS, not a name we look at or talk about very often, but typically does have moves around earnings. And here we go. Yeah, up 10% after an impressive move after market yesterday. After doubling earnings estimates per share, they expected 7, came out 15. Revenue topped, increased their full year forecast. So this is one of the few in this reporting season, guys, that We got all things pointing to the upside, and even the stock is agreeing.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny that you say that because I was trying to think of another example like this where you had basically everything was fantastic. You even have overall momentum. Well, at least recently in the cybersecurity space, and I mean it's kind of funny because the first thing when I saw this up 11% was like, I wonder if FireEye is up more than 5% and I can short that. Of course, that wasn't the case. But you know, there's this 200 level, and Mark just talked about clusters, but you got to look at this resistance up at 200, and then say to yourself, okay, there's still some room to run till you get there, but $4 or $5 off the open. Good news. That's not much of a spread, so it's actually been trading pretty reasonably, 5, maybe 20, 25 cent spreads so far in the pre-market. I was looking, when we were consolidating off of this 191 and before this breakup happened, break to the upside through 192, I was actually looking back to backfill back into like a 185 if this thing wanted to get sold for whatever reason. It just feels like it's too strong that there wouldn't be buyers that step in aggressively. Now that we've bumped up, if we break that 190, I'm looking more at that 187 type of range here. So I'll step 187. I'm going to step it up, have a bit of a dip buy at that 187. I think you're pretty comfortable looking. I'll zoom back in here so you guys can see. I think you're pretty comfortable looking for like a 194 break as long as the spread holds up. For the time being, it looks okay. I wouldn't want to be paying 50 to 60 cents on that type of a break because really you're trying to, that kind of a trade, trying to fade it into 195, just be in front of a 95 break. If it goes fantastic, hold into that 200 area. Otherwise, you want to have a bit of a tighter stop in there, probably giving it like a dollar or so. So paying that extra 50 cents is going to matter. I'd much prefer to be buying that dip. Zscaler is likely a name that I would play after the open. I think it'll be in play all day long, so you have to be open to, if it makes the break and you miss it, trying to aggressively cash those dip buys. And I had the same sort of sentiment with Coinbase yesterday and then missed successive dips by 30 or 40 cents. So if you like something for the trend, when it comes down in towards that price, forget about getting the perfect entry. Sometimes just cross the spread to get in a $200 stock, giving up an extra 20 or 30 cents. Shouldn't be the difference between you making the trade and not making the trade. That's one thing. Usually we try to get better at that kind of a thing, but it's one thing I made a bit of a mistake with yesterday in Coinbase.
Okay, yeah, not today. I don't know what this means, but your sticky note looks mighty tasty. So I just said thank you for that one. Thanks, not today. So there it is, mighty tasty. Yeah, yes, I mean, for me, it looks pretty good. We'll wait to see where it goes through. We're still long MVIS, now 40 cents in the money. We just took some out at 45. This was that, again, you know, I put the note out when we're down here. There's the 192 break. Again, that's on the sticky note. It's the #1 stock that we have. Great report, 192 break. It already broke that. It went up to 194, so that's a $2 winner if you had that. But you're not going to get that wick. You're probably getting out somewhere in here. So it's probably about a $1 smooth win. Let's see if it comes back to 191. A great report. Let's just see where Zscaler goes from here. But right now, you know, upside momentum for sure in ZS. And what a great chart that looks like. You know, trying to break this multi-day high of 2 bills. So we'll see if it can do that at some point. I mean, it may do it today. I was talking this whole time about Palo Alto and why we like that one, but Zscaler, one flying under the radar. Here's MVIS again, just to show you, you know, our best out there, 45, bang, 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 bang. And that's what happens, man. When you load it up and you take a decent amount of shares, you know, this is what I do anyways, get them out, you know, on the way up, because we don't know where this thing's going to open and where it's going to go. Let's play some momentum. I'm very interested to see what happens at 9, which is 2 minutes from now. We'll see where this thing goes. It could pop on 9 p.m. or 9 p.m., 9 a.m. With a lot of traders, you know, starting to put in some orders on some brokers opening up their access. So let's wait to see here come 9 a.m. We'll see what happens with Zscaler, but it's already a monster winner, or sorry, MVIS, and I like Zscaler through 192, but we have to now wait for a pullback.
Is 9 p.m. somewhere, I guess. Pinduoduo is next. You know what? Let's bring Arun in here, guys, if we can, real quick, and we'll talk about the overall market, because we're stuck around this 4,200, or at least we were stuck around 4,200 here in the pre-market. Arun, a little bit of selling to deal with now.
Yeah, a little bit of selling. You know, we've been stalling around this 4,200. I mentioned it yesterday, and it's no surprise that we're stalling here again, and we're finding some selling as soon as we get above 4,200. So the level with yesterday's action, I'm going to actually mark off 4,215 as a level to work with. I think there might be something. If you can find a short, I think that could be a proper stop to use in the short term. Again, it does have to set up. Not yet, though, for me. I'm going to see if we can get below 90, 42.90. So it's weird because I'd like it to get below 42.90, then bounce back up and then set up the short for me to actually want to take the short, because once we get into the 85 area, I do have some support down there. So it's really weird in terms of risk reward ratios. You do have to be careful. It's going to be, like I said, it's a holiday week coming up, or a long weekend coming up. So volume could be distributed across a couple of days. I'm not expecting a whole lot of volume every single day, as normally would be the case. So again, if we get below 90, come back up, then there might be a short there. If we get into the 85s, we saw it yesterday. That's the area I was looking for. We did get a bounce there a couple times, and I am looking for some help down there as well. So if this time, low 80s, anything down there that can set up, then you have potential for a shot to the upside with 41.55 as the stop. And that's it. 41.55 on the bottom, 42.15 on the top. Find a trade with whatever sets up. They have to set up though, and be careful with that, because the risk reward ratios do have to be in play. Be sensible about that, because some trades might take some time on a quiet day. But if we get going, I'd be careful about if we get going. Do we have the volume to push through? That's the other question too. So every trade I'm kind of skeptical about, but they are there. Keep an eye on the levels. If we get something, go for it, but just be sensible about the risk reward ratios and the volume we expect on a holiday weekend coming up.
Great stuff. Thanks, Arun. We'll check back in again tomorrow morning. Let's move on here. Pinduoduo, another one with a decent report here, beating both on the top and bottom lines for PDD, the Chinese e-commerce platform. Again, one of those names we kind of look at around earnings, and that's about it. But decent move here for PDD, guys.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, you talk about names that are in potential break. I mean, the chart gives it a bit of a look off that 133, at least recently. The caveat, of course, is going to be pricing some of that risk in China. But the numbers were impressive. They actually ended up beating in terms of not JD, sorry, Alibaba in a couple of metrics there, which is pretty impressive. Now, you're going to see this spike up that happened. This was off the open in yesterday's action before fading back in. I look at this sort of 137, that area here, 136.5 to like a 137. And that's sort of like your initial pullback area. It corresponds with VWAP as well. But I'm watching that for Pinduoduo. And then there's been a bit of, it's not necessarily an iceberg order off this 133, but sorry, 138, I should say. From what I've seen, it's just a heck of a lot of, some dark pools, and there has been some refreshing orders in there. But there has been some buying for the last hour, basically, at this 138 level, outside of like one little minor break there. So I would be a little bit worried about that level going and breaking. Now, in terms of momentum trade, I kind of like the notion that you could probably put something in there for like, if you could get like a tight stop, not tight stop, but a tight entry in like the 90s. Then suddenly your risk reward's not bad. You give it the top end of the range, it's like 50 cents. And then the bottom of that cluster, we're just showing that 136 gives you like $1.50. So it's like a 2 to 3 to 1 type of idea against the grain. If we see that 133 again, just keep in mind, that's your 50 period, as well as being the pre-market lows, realistically speaking, around 7 o'clock. I know it traded earlier if you go back earlier in the session, but I kind of look at that 133 and say that's your sort of line in the sand. If it gets sold, you got to like an opportunity at 138. I don't think that's the first place I'd go at 930, because there's probably going to be a few other things I'm going to like a little bit better there. But if you can catch that level, maybe it makes a little bit of a run, fails at 140. That's probably the only place I'd be going short on Pinduoduo today, which, look, realistically, it could happen. And this market is slightly up, and there's a lot of places to get the money in today. So something up 5% with the Chinese risk could have a bit of a pullback in it. That's why I'm going to favor that 133 if we can ever get there. But first things first, got to get there.
I want to talk about Alibaba a little bit here today. Oh no, is my chart's going to freeze up here? Yeah, that chart's going to freeze. So we'll look at a daily chart here. Alibaba yesterday. Oh, is it really going to freeze? Yeah, it is. I have to close this. Okay, close that. Close program. All right, let's look at Alibaba on a 20-minute chart then. Go to another program here. Alibaba's held this 210 level. So that's a level that I want to look at if we ever get dipped back into 210. We like that level, so we're going to wait to see if that can happen. That's a 20 period, but then the 3-minute here on BABA. And I know Arun was trading this with us on Monday when he was here. I think he was trading it off of that 210. So just to let you guys know, Alibaba goes crazy in the morning and then kind of settles down, and actually has been heading lower, lower, lower. We tipped as low as 211 yesterday. My recent buy on this one was 220. I think we can get back up there, but it needs to get going first. So I'm looking at Alibaba today with a 214 break off those good I mean, the Pinduoduo number is okay. You guys can see that it's moving up this, what are we, 130 to 138, so it's a decent move up. So that's basically what I want to do. I want to play the Alibaba momentum with the Pinduoduo momentum. So, you know, this is ticked up to 213. Let's see if it can take out 214 today with Alibaba. It's been a sad stock, so I'm going to look for Alibaba strength off of Pinduoduo strength. So let's see. I was going to say if we get the pin action, but again, I have no idea where these bowling pins are. Sometimes they're easy to find, but where are they? There they are. Let's see if we get pin action on BABA today as opposed to Pinduoduo. Here is the imbalance locator. Pay is on there. That's interesting. We can watch out to see what happens there. AMC with a new buy as well. Pay, I guess, is a SPAC going into something.
It is. That's opening today, I thought.
Yeah, Pay Memphis Holdings there. Ford with a new investor day today. So we're going to talk about that. And I also have CCL on my watch as well. So it's going to be a big day for us. Lots to do. I just got to reload my charts.
Yeah, I just actually brought up CCL, guys. Let's go to some of these reopening stocks and travel names. We saw big moves from all of them yesterday. If we have a look, you can see, I mean, pull up any of these. The airlines, the cruise lines here, they all look like this right out of the gate this morning, or yesterday, I should say. Very, very strong. They did mostly fade back. UAL, we mentioned there with Mark. Yeah, right back to 2019 pre-pandemic sales levels on leisure domestic fares. So, I mean, that's got to be a sign that things are turning in the right direction here.
They opened up Alaska for flights, so that's going to help Royal and everybody as well, you know, going on some of those trips down there, up there, I guess, through Alaska on some of these cruises. But look at CCL, good call yesterday, Brendan, off the open there, did rip and then came right back in. So I'm actually looking, it's on the sticky note, the 29.35 high of yesterday. I want to look at that. I actually just put the order in. I wrote down 29.30, that's wrong. It's 29.35 or even 40, but whatever. We're going to look at the same levels. So we're going to go upside today. We'll see if it can take it out. No idea what happens here with CCL, but again, you know, with momentum to the high side, it's looking at 29 right now. I think if we could fade back in a little bit, that'd be a great trade. Back to 28.50, maybe even 28.30, yesterday's bottoms. But look what's happening right here with the NQ, right? So the NASDAQ's falling back down, so is the ES. So right now we have multiple, you know, the big guys are falling off a little bit, which may create CCL to give us a better buy opportunity than we even think. So I'm going to put some orders downside here, 28 and change, see if we get picked up on CCL. I like it. I think it can hold. Yesterday's levels, 28 even. It's pretty clear. So if you get long 28.50, man, I mean, you're pretty defined out of 28. So I think that's well worth the risk. It's well in our risk profile here. So I'm going to take CCL and not look at anything else. Just for me, CCL today, I've really narrowed my trading, and it's worked phenomenally, looking for the best opportunities in the best names. So I'm just going to stick with CCL today and try to play any pullbacks long.
Yeah, I mean, I actually like UAL. It's interesting you mentioned that, and I think that stat going back where UALs were coming from. It sounds impressive. When you look at the actual stock chart here, and obviously you're going to have last year the absolute flush breaking through like about a 73, 74. And we're not even all the way back in, guys. We've basically turned around off of 64 even. UAL just broke back above its 50 period here above 56. So you're starting to get some momentum into the name. When I come to the 15 minute, and then you can see on that bump and then sell off, it's going to be the same looking chart as your CCL there. You're going to find this afternoon level of about 58.10. So I got the high right now, 57.94 pre-market, but I'm looking at 58.10 for a break on UAL. So I just kind of like that setup. It doesn't need to get to 60 for it to be a nice little trade there. The caveat here is obviously CCL is going to do a heck of a lot more volume. So, you know, not as much slippage in a CCL as you might get in United Airlines, but I really like that setup here. So 58.10 to the long side, a break of 58.10 to the long side for me on UAL. I'm comfortable sort of getting into that one in the pre-market if I so happen to.
It's new day highs here for AMC, guys, if you're watching it. Li Auto, the other one that's reported aftermarket, or I guess it was kind of overnight because it's over in China, but 300% rise in Q1 profit, or revenue, I should say, for Li Auto. The delivery number year over year, pretty impressive as well, up about 120%. And their forecast, again, also in the right direction.
Yeah. I want to look at Neo more than Li Auto, but first of all, did anybody buy Matic with me the other day? I just actually looked at this and I can't believe where this is at. Like, we're long 130 in here on Matic. It's up to 230 right now today. This is just like May 26th today. So we just bought this in this dip down here, Matic. So we got some at 130 the other day. We flipped out. I told you I sold some Ethereum and we went into Tether. I mean, I put that on right on my Twitter, and we actually bought some Matic. That's on there as well. So now, wow, big move up in Matic. Okay, we'll see what's going on with that one, solving some problems on the blockchain. So, okay, that's a good move. Wow, some of these cryptos are just absolutely insane, guys. Like, but you don't cash out, so you don't get any money until you do that. I'll probably take some off of that Matic play, up almost 100% in one day. Take it. Okay, here's Neo. The same thing true for Neo, man. I'm going to skip over Li Auto. I don't have anything to say about that one. Neo to the downside. Look at this. Big move down. This was on our sticky note yesterday. Play pullbacks. We did not, but what a great trade that was. And again, thank you. I forget who it was who sent me a tweet showing me their play on this. And they actually bought the dip and then sold somewhere up here. It was a great, fantastic trade. Congratulations. You know who you are if you're watching. And I'll try to find that tweet. And I think I retweeted it anyways. But here go, the same kind of dips action today, I believe. So here comes down in. We'll see if it can do anything off that Li Auto number. I'm looking to buy some Neo. What did I write down? Anything clipping back down to 35.50. I mean, you know, you might not think that could happen, but that could happen on Neo. So let's try to get long in here, 35.90, 35.80, things like that. Yesterday's low, 35.60. And then if you look at a 20-period chart here, you do have 35.50, where that was kind of that jump spot right there, where I wasn't sure if it was going to break, but it didn't even think about it. So let's see if it can play that back. Again, 35 is a better hold. So depending on, you know, what your risk tolerance is, I'll probably have too many shares, so we'll get some out at 35.50, but I want to play a long back into 35.50 on NIO. So I have done zero due diligence or any work on Li Auto.
Li Auto did have a bit of a lower guide there, so I mean, if I was going to buy this, I'd probably look at, like you're saying, into like a Neo maybe a little bit there, Sean, and then not breaking the 50 and basically trading flat is Li Auto. And if I got to be looking at one of these to the short side, it's right to the name that just reported and having some trouble getting upside. And it already had a resistance level here at 21 bucks that we're basically in front of on this somewhat muted pre-market. It's a couple 100,000 shares, but it tried to get above this 20 area, got to 20, 25 a couple of times in the afternoon, and this is like 20.50. So you do have some obvious, these quarters sort of stick out on some of these stocks, so the quarters and the 50s are going to be in play. But it's sitting right now at 20 even. With a 20 even bid that's held for the greater part of 20 or 30 minutes going into the open here, and then you have this 1975 low. So it kind of gives me the idea, if you take out that 75, you got a 25-cent risk into 20 even. To have some kind of a short play in there, you know, guiding lower has usually been a bit of a death throw for some of these stocks, and if that's the case, Li Auto's the one I want to go with. If you go back into, like, say, the 15 period and then start looking back at some targets, you have this here at 1850. Where if you're aggressively looking for a dip buy in Li Auto, I think you're looking in front of that level. First things first, 1975 breakdown, 20 stop when it does come in. So willing to risk about 25 cents plus slippage on Li Auto to the south side.
All right, it's that time. Let's talk about these. It's meme stock time. They all kind of woke up over the past couple of days with increased chatter both on Reddit and other social media platforms. It's worth saying. This time, it seems a little more coordinated right across multiple platforms, at least. All of them increased volume again today in the pre-market. AMC, as I mentioned, they're just testing day highs, guys, as we speak.
Yeah, and we just wrote down, you know, play any pullbacks. I mean, I just don't know if right now, and again, I know you're long this one. I will definitely won't be short anything today, AMC or GME. I mean, I don't want to say definitely not short, but we'll wait to see. I mean, if the trade is there, you know, yesterday I had monster winners short on both sides of the board. So let's wait to see what happens. But yeah, man, I mean, taking out this 1810, is going to be a trade that I'm going to make. We'll see. It won't be a high amount of shares. I would rather load up if we got back, and that's what I wrote down today, and that's what we've talked about. I think a pullback into like yesterday's close may be more interesting to me than, you know, trading it in this range here. If you look at a daily chart, like we haven't been up here ever basically. Like, this is brand new territory for AMC. I mean, it goes back. I could pull this chart, you know, years back, and we've been up here before. But in this recent time, you can't really consider, you know, this action over here as being actionable because it was just here for not that long. This is when the market was going absolutely insane. These highs are not true. Maybe some of these are pre-market highs.
Those are all pre-market.
Yeah, we don't have it. So here we go. This is a better, those are all pre-market. So here, this is a better closing idea here. So we haven't, like Neil was mentioning there, we haven't been up this level. So 17 to 20, there's been no testing of anything up here. So let's wait to see what happens. I believe it comes down off of, I think it makes a nice move, and we maybe get to 19, maybe even 1850. Like, let's just see the momentum off that 1810 break, which I believe happens. So we'll see about that break, and then we may, you know, like, it's crazy because we were talking about 8 and 9 down here. That's a pretty clear level. I'm wondering if the same sort of thing is setting up here between 13 and 14. So maybe that's the true range back here. So let's wait to see what AMC does. I want to go long on any pullbacks. I already have my bids in, but they don't start until 16 and change. So they're high 16s, you know, up in here. So we'll see if we can get that. I mean, a 17 pullback, I will start bidding in here, but then it'll just be a quick one. We'll flush it out through 17. So let's do that. Let's bid low 17s here. We also have an 1810 break. So if we fall down, we'll get long. If you guys want to take this higher, and I just say you guys because I know a lot of people watching are long AMC and may look to get longer today. So if the market wants to take this higher, we'll take it higher with them. But I'm expecting a pullback, but not a pullback that I want to go short into. I want to get long into that pullback. So $17, boom, we'll take that, and then we'll take some more down here at 16 and change. So let's see what happens here at 17 and then that 1810.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to be removing liquidity on AMC because the spread's going to be non-existent. So if it comes down towards like, and I'm just only looking at that 17 quarter. The only reason I'm going to point to this level is some of the pre-market action off the 7 o'clock ramps, and then again just after when it made a bit of a breakout there. So this sort of trend that it was putting on, if you want to call it that, being bought up, started at that 25 mark, or at least got momentum at that 25 mark after first failing there at 7 o'clock. So I mean, if it gets down there, fine. You know, people are like, oh, don't short it. I hate you guys if you short it. If this thing gets to $20 and I see a big level, it's the same thing as in the afternoon show when it got to 16. It's like, you know, that 95, 96 short. I'll tell you this right now, if you're bullish and you want it breaking 20, you want day traders shorting it in front of that 20 mark. It just makes the momentum all the much better when it eventually breaks. Trust me, that's 100% true, and it kind of goes both ways. Like, if I'm sitting there in a big long position in something that has a tight range, I actually don't want other people jumping into the long because it creates some downward pressure if the level breaks. So a lot of times it's a bit counterintuitive thinking that way, but you got to think just like the other participants in the markets are. So I look at that 1725. If it comes down there, it makes any kind of a slowdown or a turn in the tape off the open. That's where I want to play into the long. I just want, only because it's been successful for me in the past, I don't want to ignore costs. Come on, load up. Don't do that. There we go. I don't want to ignore costs here. It's not always trading as much volume as some of the other meme stocks, but it's barely making. I mean, obviously it's on 4.5%, but barely making the kinds of moves. And it just started to break out above this 2150 level. So kind of the the ugly stepchild of some of the meme stocks has been cost. If these roll over hard, every now and then, there's a bit of a trade that you can have in the slower mover, and if cost is slower to move to the upside, and I see an extreme move back down in AMC or in GameStop, maybe even like a halt down, something along those lines. Right. Cost could be the one to jump in too late to the south side there. So I'll be watching this one very, very closely to see if it isn't lagging some of those moves.
You're giving BlackBerry far too much credit, Neil. Sean, you had more on that.
It was about this Boxer Puppy Central comment here. I agree with you, and this is why I got out of some crypto the other day, and I actually talked about that, and I believe I tweeted the reason as well. I'm skeptical that Reddit and Wall Street Bets are solely responsible for jumps in meme stocks, right? I feel that there's other players involved, two coincidental memes rallying all at the same time. I mean, that is the point, right? Is that for right now, Wall Street Bets is controlling a lot of these stocks. I talked about AMC being a reopen play for other reasons. You know that. There was even a skit on Saturday Night Live about AMC with Vin Diesel. It was actually kind of funny. It wasn't Vin Diesel, the guy playing Vin Diesel, about going back to movie theaters and things like that. So AMC is getting some love from that. So don't forget about that. I don't think these are investable levels And the reason why I bring this back to crypto, Brendan, and everybody, is because we had the other day, what was it, Elon there came out and said a few other things about Dogecoin, and if I can zoom in here, and it rallied. So we were starting to tank. I think it was just 2 days ago or so. He came out. It was about 21 or 2200, and he was talking about diamond hands and this and that. And you know, the crypto was on its way down, and then it bounced. I don't want to be long crypto if it's going to be, you know, manipulated by one individual. Like, if one tweet of his can send this thing up 20%, then I think bad news like China could probably send this thing down 30 or 40%. So that's why I think you got to be very, very skeptical about why you're investing in certain things. I believe, obviously, I mean, that's why I got into Polygon, Matic, I mean, ADA, Cardano, I think is going to be bigger. Not bigger than Ethereum. Ethereum's already made the first move, but something similar to that. So look, I think you got to believe in base cases and not just in the Wall Street Bets hype. But hey, you know, being long AMC, there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you got to play the momentum. I know Neil talks about going counter trend, but fool in this game right here. Okay, here goes AMC right to the upside. I would, like Neil said, unless you get to key levels, man, watch out for shorts on AMC. Don't do anything on that right now. MVIS ripping. We only have 10 minutes to go. Sorry about that, Brendan. I just wanted to get that in.
Yeah, of course. No, a good point on crypto as well. I mean, we're back to 39.5 here. Let's talk about Coinbase here real quick. We did get above 40,000 on Bitcoin, but back to 39.5 as I mentioned. But this Coinbase, guys, really hasn't been trading. I mean, we had a big move up yesterday with BTC, but not much happening here. We're up nicely on the day so far for Coin.
Yeah, look, it's up. It's opening above 240, but and I sort of said this with Mark, and talking about overall crypto exposure, you gotta set your own levels here, and I still don't even have half of what I want to own in Coinbase, but I'm going to trim some Silvergate today to pick up Coinbase, because that close above 240, that was that wipeout low, and that was kind of the momentum I was looking to see here, and obviously, you know, sort of been wanting to catch them on the way down. It is what it is. I think that was a fantastic entry off of 231. So you get that consolidation one there, Sean, and the lower high, right? And then you can also get the confirmation above the 240 range. At the end of the day, if you believe in it long term, it's not going to matter too much. With the meme stocks going where they are, I don't know that I can put on like that sort of dip buy idea. If I'm looking for it in AMC, and I don't know about necessarily about GameStop, but also looking for some plays over there in the airlines as well, or if you're looking at CCL, you know, do I want to necessarily just sort of jump in front of Coinbase at like a 244, 245 level? No, I probably need this to come all the way back in to 240, 242. Retest that. I mean, I don't mind. Just jump in front of that level, catch whatever bids you can if there's that type of a play there. And then the other one is, remember the reference price, 250. Right, so it's just off that pre-market high right now. So I mean, outside of coming all the way back in and giving you longs in front of that great 240 level where yesterday's close, I mean, 250 stands out. I mean, I'd much prefer a breakout at 250 if we were still holding above 40,000. You'd rather the momentum in the overall crypto space be pushing to the upside instead of consolidating just below a key level. That's not the greatest sign for the first test or retest of that reference price. So, you know, if in that kind of environment, you might expect a pullback off of 250, and then that could be where you get your dip buy-in. That's likely to be, you know, in the first 15 or 20 minutes, maybe even half an hour of the day. So you don't necessarily have to have that at 9:30.
Guys, that means position alert. So we just got into AMC a couple minutes ago. We let Neil finish there. And then, yeah, we got in. It ripped to 18s on that buy. So it did take out the day's high. It ripped to 18. We didn't have anything out there. So we'll wait to see where it goes now. AMC, we're going to play it back to 1750. So this was the breakout that we wanted. So let's see how high this thing can fly. You know, we'll be getting some out, obviously, as we do. But let's wait to see if it can test that 1840-ish area, maybe 1850. So right now we are long on AMC. That's flat right now. And then MVIS continues to rock and roll. Our best, oh no, don't tell me my chart. Okay. Our best outs 45s, a couple outs in the 30s, 35, and so on and so forth. So right now we've got 2 on board and we're looking to get some more. And yeah, thanks for that, Neil, because I think that was a good entry. We'll see if it comes back again. I'm hoping never does it come back here. So we loaded up Coinbase down here. This is a daily chart? No, this is a 1 minute chart. Yesterday, or a couple days ago, maybe, I think at 231. So down here, we got some nice Coinbase down there. And if you look at the chart, I think that's a pretty good buy. Obviously, the bottom was 223. I marked down yesterday the 240 break. See ya on that one. So that was a good trade. That went up $4 yesterday. I haven't done much work on Coinbase today because the sticky note is jam-packed, and we're loving what's on the note today, man, including, guys, Ford about to break off right now. So we tried. This is embarrassing again. I could bring over Valeria, but I always do that. So what's the point? We were bidding 1301. It went down to 1302. We're going to take this 1320 break. That's another big one that's on our list. The only problem is, I don't really want to take this. I might have to, I think I have to cancel the amount of shares on this one. It's a little too early to take it right now. Damn it. I want to take Ford breaking through 1320 like crazy. But again, you know, if we look at a 20-minute chart here, I just don't know if I could do it in the pre-market like crazy, but we can see here it is, man. 1320 yesterday, pre-market. Then we got up to 1340, then crashed back down. So let's wait out. This 1320 is coming, man. It's investor day. Damn it, Ford. I just have to lighten up, but I will take this on the pre-market, hoping it pulls back. But Ford looks like it's going to take out our level with 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, more expected during investor day on how much they're going to invest in EVs. So Ford definitely a good one to watch today. OCGN here moving southbound, kind of apart from the rest of the vaccine type stocks here this morning. The FDA quietly aftermarket yesterday saying that they're going to pause reviewing emergency use authorization in the U.S. for COVID-19 vaccines. So when that came out, we had a bit of a spike here to the downside. So we're back below 750. $8 up here, though. A very, very key level on the daily chart for OCGN under pressure, guys.
Thanks a lot, Brendan. Someone in the chat, I chuckled when I saw it. I wish I got the name. Was like, Neil has to short something in the pre-market, or are they making me pineapple pizza? That's actually not true, but it feels like it's true because, yeah, there's a small cap. It's the end of the list, Nabriva Therapeutics. This is a micro cap, so you always have to be careful with some of these names. But up, like it was up almost 60%. But I saw this little move, and when it makes a breakdown like this, you get the gap up and a breakdown off of a 230 level, breaks one of these, I guess, pre-market supports. I then go back to this one, and if it retests it, I want to be involved. Right before 8 o'clock, it did so. Now, it's got a bottom here at 210 off the open, so I have covered some shares in front of it. If it gives me one more chance with a couple of minutes to go, I might take a little bit more off. But this is that sort of patented, it bumps up. If it bumps up into the open, tests 230 and fails at that particular price. I'm not talking about the pre-market high, I'm not talking 250, which is a good level, great level to look at as well. But if it tests at 230 and rolls over at the open, that's where I would look to add to those shares. No averaging in now. It can pop up now and I'm not taking it. I need the buying to come in at 9:30 and then we'll sell it off, just like the play we had in yesterday. So we're going to rinse and repeat that type of action. And then I don't want to disregard Nordstrom's altogether because this is one that I wanted to come in thinking it was going to test that level in the daily chart. We talked about this in the afternoon show, that this would be a really big test if it broke this 33 after earnings, despite the fact that the numbers were, I mean, you're sort of expecting a loss from them. That's exactly what you got. But overall, I think they got beat up pretty big here. 33 looks like a fantastic break. And then you get to those levels where I think it's probably value down at $30. If it gets to $29.30, certainly, but that's for another time. 33 looks like a fantastic break, but it has to get there first. So if you're going to play this trade to the short side, I'm looking at a fade off of 35 first. If it pops up, I'm looking at post-market levels here where it did have some selling action. If it gets up to 35, that'll be the trade for me. $1 away from that break at 33. I kind of thought that Nordstrom would be testing that level in the morning. So far, it has not.
All right, Macy's right now. Yeah, Nordstrom's, and on the same topic here, Macy's. It's what's good, bad, and ugly. I think on our chat. Keeps talking about this play, and we had it yesterday. It just never came through for us. I like this short here, 1775. I mean, it just never hit. We were looking at it yesterday, is what I mean to say. It just never came through. Look at the NASDAQ right now puking. So some of these longs, good thing we got out of some of that MVIS. We're out of half of it. We'll review that when the market opens in 2 minutes. We'll see where it goes from there. But 1775 here on Macy's, a nice, again, multi-day low as opposed to the highs that we've been looking at lately. So watch out for that play coming through here. 1770 or so on their Macy's. I like that break on the downside. I want to check on Beyond Meat quickly as well to see where that stock is trading right now. Wowzers, 124. I put in a bid in the pre-market, 121.50, and didn't get it, and was hoping that we would pull back in on Beyond Meat. I'm light on this name. I've loved this from down here. You guys know that. We've been talking about this. We talked about it on Monday with Arun and with and that was at 108. Remember, we were long 112 there, and now you're up to 124. So there's a nice 10% in 2 days off that call. So damn it, I'm still long 86 or 85, which is fine, but I wanted to get more shares on Beyond Meat. Darn it, missed opportunity with that one. With only 50 seconds, now 45 seconds to go. Yeah, we're getting close, man. AMC pulling back, so we're out of the money right now, 15 pennies, no big deal.
That's AMC, that's nothing.
Yeah, we'll see where that goes. Zip coming out today as well, and Ford going to break. AMC getting paired off. So let's ready to rock and roll, man. We're ready. We've got MVIS and AMC to start the day.
Yeah, just under 30 seconds ago. That PIRS also on the watch list, second last, made a push into that pre-market high, failed at this rollover at 510. So that could be another play. If it pushes, can't break the high, you'd look for a short off of that 530 range. But Miss V is on the bell. The market's green. We didn't talk about this, and she's got, I don't think we need the powers today, but she's got the green shirt on anyway, so I feel pretty confident about this day. She's definitely good luck. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's get this party started. We'll be buying this dip pretty quick.
All right, here we go. We just bought some more AMC, but this is coming down to the downside here pretty quickly. No idea. It's not open yet, so we have to wait for 8. There it is. Yeah, it's open now. So 1769. It's coming to the downside, but we are long. We just took another bid there.
Just made the first bounce.
Yeah, we just took another bid there on AMC. So let's wait to see where we go. MVIS and AMC right now, both not doing great, but we're waiting for them.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first dip, and then it was basically off of that 1760 area price. MVIS actually pulled a little bit back as well. But I just want to show you, this is what's happening in GameStop as well. It's a bigger move to the downside. So kind of like, AMC, a little bit calm. Streaming to 225. Watch out for like a probably that 218, 220 area. You don't want this thing halting down, but I'll tell you this, the best longs I've ever seen on GameStop, and costs included, was off of halts to the downside. So we're watching those very closely. I was looking for that open play in NBRV. Of course, I talked about that. If you don't get it, you don't get it. It actually breaks lower. So I don't get any more shares. It doesn't give it to you, but it does give you the win down into $2 already. So you're gonna see if we can't take that 10% off. We'll celebrate that to the gates of hell. But I'm looking to buy this turn on AMC if it even gets one.
Yeah, there it goes. So AMC, so we'll get flushed down a little bit there as AMC goes to the downside. We'll hold a little small bit just to watch it. But like we said, we have more bids. I mean, that was just a tester. We did want to get long ahead of 17. So let's see if that 17 winds up breaking, guys, to the downside. So I guess we could cancel our 18 offers. And then we have more bids downside. Remember what we talked about, man? I said the pullback on the long. So we're going to have to wait. That might be the pullback right there down into 1750. So we'll see if that is the trueness for AMC, but I'm still waiting even a little bit lower to see if we can't get something on the low side. We're still holding a little bit of this, so still some upside movements, hopefully, on our docket here for AMC. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, if it gets into I got 54. If it gets in front of that 18s, I'll take a little bit out there. But Nordstrom's, man, I just should have been shorting at basically any price. And sometimes you get a little bit patient with your plays. That's exactly what happens. I just got some AMC out in front of that 18 area, but I might have to get more aggressive in Nordstrom, shorting in front of 34 instead of 35 as a first look with a tighter stop.
Okay, so new position alert there into Ford right now, going upside right now on Ford. Damn you, AMC, we just got ticked out there. Oh, not just. I mean, we got out at 1750. That was our plan. Now we're in the money 20 pennies, so we bring it back, which is nice. Okay, so here goes Ford. Let's see. We got some 25s there on that break. So there it is. This is the trade that we like, man, breaking through 1320. We're waiting for longer positions down here, but we didn't get them, so now we have to wait. We'll play any pullbacks, but I like Ford into Investor Day, up 3%. Maybe it's too much, but we're long here, and we're long and strong on this name, so let's go to the moon here. Ford. We're going to hold this one as much as we can. And there it goes, man, through 18. Yes, sir. So rain down a little bit of money on the last bit of this, but damn it, why did we get out at 1750, guys? Why?
Oh my goodness. So look, obviously I'm happy AMC is going up, but yeah, I got the bottom. Nordstrom's here 33, so this short obviously going to be tight at the bottom of the day. I wanted that off of any kind of a strength. It looks like it isn't in. If it makes this low and then flushes me out, it's going to have to be at that 33.55 area, which is the previous pre-market low. Obviously, it still is not that case, guys. And then just going back over to GameStop, this is what happened when you got the turn AMC. I'm just kind of noting this. AMC doesn't break through the high. GameStop pulls back and breaks the high of the day. So I'm anticipating AMC is going to make a similar move. I'm holding these longs for at least until 18 and a quarter, and then hopefully we can buy a dip buy as well. Brendo?
Very strong for Ford right out of the gate, guys. Big volume coming in as well, 3.8%. But look at the print, monster print on Ford so far. 315 was pre-market highs there, got taken out for Ford.
Yes, sir. And there it is, man. We're exploding that money on Ford. This was the best trade that we had here. If you're not rolling, then you're not rolling. But there it is at the very bottom, Ford with the stars beside it, man. Investor day, investor day, investor day. We go long on Ford, and there it is. The home run of the day happens right here. We hit the cowbells for Ford as it continues to go. 34, 35, 37, Ford. Let's go, man. The home run is over here. Let's hit the home run and chicken dinner winners. I know you got a good AMC trade on. Nordstrom. I'm not sure what else, but there goes Ford, man. Thank you, Miss V. Let's get some out. 1340s, guys.
Yeah, and look, this is what you got to do. No one ever went broke taking profits, so make sure you do that. And a lot is going on. I meant to hit the fist bump, but I hit this thing. Yeah, AMC finally follows through. I mean, GameStop had already gone through 240, but there's 1830. I said I wanted it to break out past that quarters. It did. Still hanging on here. Last entry was at 43, but I literally had a question mark with my dip buy because the prices had to present themselves. But this was the level we wanted. We talked about this one, 1722. That's what it held. You get some in front of it, and I don't know. I mean, 20 even at some point today. That's probably the only way I'm going short is in front of a level like that, Brendo.
Wow, yeah, nice move so far. Dix, guys, Dix all-time highs after earnings in the pre-market here. A nice move in the pre-market itself got us up to 92, which is some of these wicks from the daily time frame, but all-time highs here for DKS.
All right, yeah.
Robbie and Lucas are children, man. You can't say Dick's Sporting Goods without these guys laughing their what's off. But anyways, this is the one we probably should have had, and I actually wrote this one down. There was too many things to look at today, and I liked the 92 break, and it would have been like a decent trade here. I'll look for a pullback back into that 92 range. If it gives me a second shot, every now and then you get lucky, and you can play a level twice by giving a bit of a dip, but we might have missed that move in Dick's Sporting Goods. The volume wasn't great pre-market anyways, though.
Yeah, we knew about Dick's Sporting Goods, but I didn't trade it, so we'll wait. Okay, Ford, so good. I mean, a bunch of outs there. Like when that ripped to those highs, man, there has to be a point where you start to get some out there on Ford. So we did, man. We got some out, 35s, 39s, 39. We get 40s, no, we got 39 is our best. So let's wait to see if Ford dips down now. That might have been the move there, but we're still in it, so good trade there. Yeah, outs. 18, 15's our best outs. AMC rips to 45. So, wow, big move there. Unfortunately, we did get out of the majority of our shares here, so we won't be positive on AMC, but a good move to the downside. We said we would load up the longs on any dips, and instead we sell them. So, we forget about that one. We took that initial one. We didn't want to hold it through 1750. I do have more bids downside here. So let's see if AMC comes back to the downside. We'll wait on that one. There goes MVIS, man. Just another one for us today. The siren alert on MVIS. We've already cashed out half of this position. Here it comes back to the upside. Maybe a decent spot to get out now on MVIS. We're holding 3 positions and they're all winners. So right now, let's keep this market green and hope for some bigger ones.
Oh, I'm gonna kick myself. This is 2 days in a row on Coinbase where I'm sitting on the bid, and then this is the turn. I'm sitting at 243.40. That's that turn at 244. So again, missed it by 40 or 50 cents. When that happened last time, the move I did not make was to get aggressive. So in front of that level would be around this 44, 45. So if I can catch something off of 45, I'll go with a bit of a tighter stop and a re-entry. AMC doesn't even give me the pullback, so that's always fun when it doesn't do that. I thought maybe off that high of the day, we dipped down, into that 1750 to 1760 area. We had our initial entry. That hasn't happened yet. Still some consolidation. I just got UAL, so that's a new position. It's at that point we said there was a lot to look at today, and that is 100% true. So you let the winners sort of ride, have your levels that you like. UAL, I picked this one for the recovery space, for the reopen space, and we get that 58.10 breakout. I got 12 to the long side. New position alert, Brendo.
It's funny, I said BlackBerry there just jokingly in the pre-market, but here we go through $9 for BlackBerry as well, starting to go up 5.5% here on volume, guys.
Okay, we're still looking for some hot dog winners here because Ford right now, right back to the upside, man. We should have reloaded, but we didn't. Now it's just ripping to the upside. So again, the #1 trade on our board, my largest position here, Ford. Here it goes to the upside. Good little win there for Ford and MVIS, guys. It's too bad because we would just been over the moon today if we just didn't get out of that AMC, but we did. So here goes NVIS right back to basically the pre-market highs of 1650. That's my next spot for that one. You know, we took a lot of shares there, more than we wanted to. But again, like when it's on our list and we really like it, we're going to take it, right? So NVIS is right there. You can check that out on Twitter. We got over 250 likes, I think, yesterday on that. So we're going to keep on going with our sticky note. And why not, man? If I can't mark down Ford any better for everybody, including myself, last buys on this one, 1131, just a couple weeks ago, 1340, and just destroying faces right now on this one. So we'll just spin this. Because this is what's happening right now with Ford, man. It's a big trade for me. Super happy. And here we go again, guys. It's 9:40, and we're already doing some damage. What up, B?
Yeah, day highs for Ford. Some of the cruise lines, guys, heading up to day highs as well. Watch 32 here on NCLH. Just had a volume alert there. But initial selling was overcome. Looks like we're heading higher for some of the cruise lines, guys.
So new position for me. We already talked about that one. I didn't mention that I got into Coinbase. What I did say was, and hopefully it made sense to you guys, I'm going to get aggressive on that entry point. So I missed out on that dip buy, and yesterday I did not get aggressive off of those lows. This time I did. I picked up 245s at 56. Was able to quickly scalp some out at VWAP. Now we're getting into that high. Now remember, the reference price of 250 is going to stand in our way here. So I'm going to take profit. We're in and out like a ninja very quickly, and I want to be aggressively buying the dips, and I want to make sure I'm covering in front of that 250, which I think should obviously be some resistance. I mean, like, it seems obvious to me because it's a reference price, and we had a big breakdown at that particular price. So a lot going on at the same time, and then this is why you follow in the morning, and this is why we go through our plan of action. So there's UAL, there's that 58.10 break. First stop, it just sort of hung out here in the 30s. Quickly scalp off 20 cents. I'll put some more offers and put another offer in front of 58.50. You get those evens, quarters. We like to work off of those levels. Good places for some targets, and then want to hold on to the rest of the trade. AMC did give a bit of a dip buy in here, guys, so I was able to get some shares basically right around that same entry price, I mean that initial entry price off of 17.75. So I get 65s in here. If it comes back right in front of 18, that's where we were sort of covering first leg, and then out in front of 18.25. So I want to repeat this pattern. If it wants to double tap, I'll go with it. Why not? The only shorts I got on Nordstrom's finally starting to work here, and that NBVR, whatever, that seems pretty solid in front of 2 even, but I don't want that to pop through the high day on me. Brendan?
I don't see any actual news here on QuantumScape, guys, but big volume on QS today. Back through 25, or it's just testing 25 right now. Up 4% so far for QuantumScape.
Okay, let's look at QuantumScape quickly then. I was just looking at that, and I actually like yesterday's levels a little bit on QuantumScape. If we could zoom out, yeah, it's this 25 area here, 2560, yesterday's pre-market area. QuantumScape, again, another name that's just been beat up, right? And so you got to watch out for QuantumScape. They did have the share buyback, or sorry, lockup expiration a couple days ago, expiry. So I'm looking at this level, 2560. We'll go long if it can take that out, but a nice little bump off the bottom there, 24. Without knowing the news, I'm not in love with this play, but we'll wait to see if there is anything. So 2560 coming hopefully on QS. Maybe we'll take that. But look what's happening over here, man. You guys want some big trades? Bang. There it is. I mean, MVIS. What else can we do for you on this trade, guys? Monster win. My largest position of the day was Ford, but obviously all of them are large. So, but you know, MVIS, we only have 3 positions on. AMC, monster winner, but we got out at the bad price. MVIS, what else can we say? We're long at 16, and then Ford. I mean, this has just been a smoke show for me long. So we're going to go 3 positions here, and let's just keep on rocking. CCL didn't do anything there. Went up to 29.20. The level we wrote down off our list, 29.30. So it does get pretty close to that. We'll wait to see if it pulls back in. I'm actually going to cancel that breakout now on CCL. I don't really like it. We'll wait to see how far Ford wants to go, and then MVIS, man. Let's get a little bit out here. 1670. That's a great runner. So a little bit higher than I expected. Let's get some out.
Yeah, the level, I mean, I looked at 1680 on that daily chart. It makes sense for me. I just covered out of that MBIS. If it goes further, it goes further. Fair enough. Urban does come back. So it just tested 39.30, and there were some breakouts that, certainly were there for you in the morning, right at 9.30, but Urban was one that I wanted to hold off on just a little bit. And we're getting right back into VWAP on a pullback. This market is heading back into the downside. And one of the things I want to think about is where do you want to buy these pullbacks? I like some Coinbase if I can catch around the same levels, which could be upcoming right now. And then same thing with Urban. If I can catch a bit of a break out of this level, I'm looking for it to retake that 40 level and then see if I can't get into the momentum of the play here. So I knew I wanted to sit this one out till the volume came in. It's giving you a second crack, but I want it to the upside breaking as opposed to like a Coinbase where I want to be getting that one on the downside, sort of jumping in front of bids. Brendan?
Another one with a ton of early strength here, NNDM, Nano Dimensions. They had this announcement, was actually yesterday. They launched this new system, Dragonfly LDM 2.0. There's no additional headlines that I can see this morning, but another one with a nice move, guys, through 7 here on volume for NNDM.
I wanted to also, we'll look at NMDM in a minute. I also wanted to bring IPOE to attention here. It was falling down, and what is it doing now? Come on, charts, let's go. Okay, so AMC still bouncing around. I'm still chilling out on Ford and on VIS. A big move down there from 20, basically in a straight line down to 19, and now looking to bounce. So we'll wait to see if there's any news on MVIS right now. Wow, RBLX, man, what's up to my kid? Making me look foolish as per usual. He's long this thing at 65, so good move. Come on, IPOE, let's change charts. Roblox, $92, man. Wow, we talked about this one on IPO day and that we really, really like this name, but I had no idea that this was gonna happen to Roblox. Just absolutely taking off, man, 92, 93. There's gonna be no stopping this name. This is, again, looks like Wall Street Bets. We went to Swaggy Stocks. This is one of the top names on that list, so no surprise that Roblox is just running like uncontrollably right now. So congratulations, anybody long Roblox. This daily chart looks disgusting, to the long side off that break. And then there's a beautiful break of 91. Damn, all the way up $2.50, almost in a straight line. 45-cent winner on for MVIS, 10-cent winner on for Ford, and 13 right now for AMC. Probably looking to reload some AMC, but I'm so nervous about this 1750 area, just that we may be done. So we'll wait on AMC. I will look a little bit lower. That's why I'm not reloading.
Yeah, I'm annoyed with myself. I'm going to go with this for Nordstrom's. I was just looking at, Coinbase, same level, 24.50. I did miss that, so 245.50. I missed it the second time. If it comes the third time down, I want to make sure I grab it. Nordstrom's, which was a fantastic short off of the open. Misplaced my, anyways, you're going to have this entry here. It gets stopped out. It makes that immediate fail. Where it breaks a level and comes right back in. That's usually a jam session where you try to get right back in at a better price. I don't do so because I'm a little bit distracted trying to pick up a dip buy in both UAL and over in Coinbase, of which I got neither. And Nordstrom's headed right back down towards the low. It's not enough to have a direction or play or an entry. You got to be able to execute the trades altogether. And I had a feeling I'd be trading one too many stocks at the same time here. Just to come back to AMC because there's a lot happening. This is still now getting range bound. Now, this is where we were taking out last time in front of that 18. It's retesting the 1760 with the market coming in. It just made a fail off of the high of the day. This is where you don't necessarily want it breaking that 17, and I'm adding shares at 1760. So I'm going to come back in and say only add in the 25 to 40 range. And have a tighter stop there and have an idea what I like a little bit better in terms of some pricing, just given and showing some chinks in the armor, if that's what you want to call it. And then NBRV, I'm not ignoring this stock. It's just when you have one of these and you're sitting in the money, you do have to pay attention to them if they make this type of a move. But otherwise, it's like, who cares, who cares, who cares? It comes right back into the level we liked, and this was that 230 area. You see that little bit of a rollover failure. If it happened at 930, I would have had it. Happens after that, so we're about 15 minutes into the market open. That's where I like to catch that roll if I can get it. I don't want to chase it too far. I am short at 26s, so that's kind of the price I'm looking to get. Of course, it comes down as I'm yapping away here, guys, but that's a setup we talked about. If it pops at the open, gets into that 230, failing to break, I want the short off of that level. I'm already seeing it at 26, but not a bad entry. Would have made a 10-cent winner if I was a little bit faster on the keys.
All right, yeah, looking at Palantir, yeah, look, we're gonna miss some trades for sure, guys. Ride is up 7%, okay, that's good, guys. Palantir also a nice little move up, 1.5%. We still pound our chest for Palantir, guys, because that's been a strong name for us off that bottom. Our last buy, 1850, nice move. And like I said, we're gonna get excited once it starts to break this 20 period. I'm really gonna get excited when we get up to 29, but that's still a ways away from that one. So we'll wait on that. I wanna reload Ford, anything on the low side of Ford. It just dipped to 25. We're going to put a bid there. We were waiting at 22, so that didn't come through. But again, wasn't really even paying attention to VWAP 28. Thought that if we broke VWAP, we could break 25. So we're waiting a little bit lower, but it didn't do that. So let's put some bids now in the 25 area as we're going to find some more stock for you. And Valeria has a name for us. What up, V?
Hey Sean, Roblox continue moving to the upside. Stock is up more than 3% today. Do you have any comments on Roblox, guys?
Yeah, I just talked about Roblox. It's okay. It's an unbelievable move upside. So thanks for bringing that name to us. And I think that a lot of traders looking at Roblox here. I just wonder, remember I went over to this and I'll refresh this again. This is Swaggy Stocks, not affiliated. We don't affiliate with anybody, guys. We're not about selling something. So here you go. Swaggy Stocks here, GME, AMC, and there's Roblox. However, it's more negative comments than positive. That's what the red means. So this is Swaggy Stocks. Here, I'll put this in the chat. SwaggyStocks.com. You can check it out. I don't use it that often, but you know, if you're looking to see, hey, is there a name on here that's new? That might give you something. And there's Palantir. 90% there positive comments on Palantir. So okay, we'll take that one. Looking at some crypto names, they're not really moving right now. So let's go over to Brendo and see if we got something else.
We've seen these crazy Chinese online education companies moving all over the place the past couple of days on increased talk about possible regulations coming from the Chinese government on these as well. Here we go. This is GSX Go-To. Is GSX Education, $17 coming into play early on this morning, but we're heading back to the upside. Look at the volume, though, compared to yesterday on this Go-To. Again, down big time today in the early going, guys.
Oh boy, we got another one. We'll add that one to the list for sure. I mean, we're getting some pullback in here, and as I'm watching AMC, of course, I'm going to be looking a little bit at what happens with GameStop, guys. So you do watch out here as a test towards that 225. And this wick, ignore that wick. I mean, 225 and change is going to be the opening range bottom. So as I'm sort of looking down at AMC back in towards this 1760 area, remember I had just said I don't want to take this stock until it gets down towards that 40. So in the corner of my eye, well, I mean, I have a chart up here. It's not at the corner of my eye. I'm watching GameStop. I want it to hold that 225. At that point, if I'm getting a good price in AMC, and then I buy it in front of that 1725, guys. They don't have to move lockstep, but that's the way that I'm going to choose to play them. UAL just got a bit of a reload in there. As the market does come back in, it just slammed down off of this pre-market level 57.65, which was broken right at the open, then slammed back to the upside. So there we go. Got to reload. I'm going to take some out in front of 58, and then again in front of 58.20, and then looking for the dip buy in AMC, as I just quickly mentioned there. Brenda, what's up?
Just seeing some of the NFT names popping up here now as well. Here's this TKAT 30% for Takung, just broke 20 there on volume. YVR, shout out to our friends over at YVR as well, just catching a big guy, starting to move as well.
Liquid Media, YVR there. Yeah, I'm looking, I mean, AMC is going to be a funny one through that 1740 level, so we'll put an order out. That's still MVIS, sorry, that wrong stock there. AMC, here it is. It looks like it's going to break, obviously, back down below, so you're going to have to watch out here for this break to happen. And I'm going to put out an order right now to see about getting short if we do break lower than where we think here, 38s, 39s on 17. So I don't know if you need shortable shares or not, but I'm going to try this one on a break back to the downside now, if it does go. And I'm just looking at these levels right here, 1740, 1750, things like that on AMC. We'll play that, but we could go long again somewhere around here, but we are playing a downside break. So let's wait to see. Obviously, I still think it has some upside. We're still long that name. MVIS moving. Ford. Oh, we missed that Ford dip again. Okay, so where am I bidding on this name anyways? 26 is, maybe you need to get a little bit better than that. Ford right now, kind of barcoding. So we already had the momentum off the Investors Day, I believe. Anyways, today we cashed out a lot of our shares. We're almost flat on Ford right now. Only have about 20% left on this position. So let's wait to see where it goes. But I am trying to get some more Ford. Maybe even on this break might be okay. 1336 here on Ford, guys.
And we'll power up because there goes that NBRV. And I said, look, I'll wait for one thing after the open. Now that does happen, actually twice, and I only traded it once. That kind of sucks. So 230 does come back into play. We're able to get essentially the same price. We get 26s before. We'll end up with 23s here. Work it out. Same exit points at 210. Get some more out in front of 2. Eventually, if 2 breaks, I still want to have something on board and then have a big move there. It just got alerted, and thank you, Brendan. We said there'd be a lot of things to look at today, and so here's another one. Virgin Galactic headed towards 27.50, so that's an interesting price. I can tell you that was a great breakout price. It's a price that a lot of people will be holding the bag or just holding on because they believe in the dream for like 5 or 10 years from now when this will be maybe up and going and fantastic. Look, no, actually, they could be sending people in space in 2 years. But that's a big level, and of course, holding above the 50. So I look back to that. The first time it got to 27.50, it was a good reversal in the afternoon. I wasn't here on Monday. You don't chase profits from a trade that you missed. But if it comes to 27.50, I'm likely to take another shot at this one, or not a first shot at this one because I missed it last time, at 27.50 if it reverses that price. Fine. If it doesn't, watch out for 30. It does have a decent short interest, so you got to have a stop when you're going against the grain. I kind of always say that, but I feel like it's an important thing to say. I'm avoiding doing it in a lot of other names here. And we didn't flip there, but UAL, we talked about that little bit of a bounce and buying the dip. It just cracked 58, so I'll go ahead and take some profit off there. Buying the dip, buying the dip, buying the dip, and shorting the pop. It seems like the only thing we're doing today, but if it works, keep doing it.
Yeah, we just took a breakout there on Ford as well. So that's 37s long. It's up to 40, out a little bit there at 40. We're still long. This is just now we got an average price. Let's see if Ford now wants to even go to the day's high again. So just reloading into Ford, man. Long 1320, long 1337 there. And now hells to the yeah. There we go, guys. Ford, yes, sir. You don't need to trade a lot. You just need to trade good. 27.20 here. So we are now long space. Let's see where this one goes now. We take that break of 27.20, the day's high. Now let's go. If we get to 27.50, we will cash out some of that. But hey, no idea why this thing's up 6%. Heavily shorted. It can go a hell of a lot higher than this. 26, I got to find it out, right? Probably 26.90. So back here, almost basically where this move started, should be a decent spot for an out. So we'll go a little bit lower than that. Maybe 26.70 or so as an out there for space. So let's see if it continues to moonshot to the upside. But right now, today, man, raining down cash, guys. We're in the money on everything, and let's just keep that going, including on SPCE. Here we go again. Man, we're doing this cowbell winter time for SPCE here. We'll take it out for a dime, and then we'll let the rest go upside to that 50 level. Let's go, space. We doing it again. What's up, Maple Leafs?
Well, that's right. The Maple Leafs looking absolutely, utterly dominant. I don't know why that is in the Maple. Like that should be the Maple Leafs. Anyways, I didn't show you that 27.50 on the 15-minute chart, but that's level a couple of sessions ago. It was a hard reversal there. It was a hard break through and then slamming back down. I love those types of setups for a short trade. We just got that UAL, and we talked about it just breaking 18s, and then immediately it screams towards that quarter mark. I'm already sitting here, so if we can catch another like 40 or 50 cents on this one, we'll keep doing that. I want to hold a core position to get back to this 58.50 as well. So you had the breakout, you had the dip buy, and then we'll move to the next trade. Coinbase just pulled back in all the way to 42, not 41. So it doesn't give you that 240 look, and you're getting consolidation off of 243. So we're putting in a bit of a higher low here. If it breaks back up, I'd like to see if I can't get a long off of 43. So I've got to get a little bit more aggressive. Only one good long in Coinbase. I probably should have already had a second.
All right, guys, and Coinbase or not, right now, space ripping. So there it is, another 20-cent win for us on SPCE. Yeah, I love that Coinbase trade. We're going to look at that myself in a bit. But right now, AMC, 50 cents, and the Bulls kicking like cray on AMC now to the upside. Big time mover there as it just wants to go. 55, 56, 70 cents in the money now on AMC as that just keeps on ripping. 25 cents in the money on MVIS. Possibly, I'm just going to hold this one until the high of the day. And then, oh yeah, by the way, the stock that we all talk about and love here today, Ford, Rip City again on this name. We'll take out a 45, right back to day high. Buy, all the way to the nice little upside here on Ford. So yeah, man, to say this day is going well is a misnomer. This day is going excellente, guys, as we are walking on that water today. But let's just keep going, guys. Out there on space, good one. I don't know, I had a 42 out there late. So now we'll wait to see if space can come back up and get some out here in the 40s. It's retracing a little bit here. So let's give it a little bit more room, but we're still dime piece in the money. Maybe we'll take another piece out.
Yeah, and look, I know you guys are like, oh, there's this moving, there's that moving. Look, we get it. I know BlackBerry's making a move, but you saw Virgin Galactic, and we're both looking at that name as well. I mean, I'm in AMC. I'm looking at UAL, which is a nice break. Just got into Urban, and then looking to catch a bid here on Coinbase, which is getting very very, very close to me here. So, you know what I said?
Wow.
If it comes close to me and I don't get a little bit more aggressive and making a mistake, so I'm getting in Coinbase here, buying that dip. Yes, BlackBerry is moving. Certainly, it's just sort of participating with these other meme stocks. We'll usually tend to play the highest volume plays, or the ones that we tend to think are the best. As far as AMC goes, which I'm still holding on to, just turned at 19, well, off of $19. This is one of those parabolic moves that, you know, for me, I'm pretty much always going to take. If I was going to be shorting a move like this, if it was any other chart, I usually think about taking profits. I'll be out of AMC off that last dip buy at 1760, and then looking for an aggressive move back in, or maybe a 19 area type of break. We're past that open trade, so we can start thinking about scalp breaks. Wow, 10 o'clock, you kidding me? Already time for happening now. Let's go to Brendan at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, quick check of North American markets here. We'll see what is going on overall. S&P has gone red. Just fair warning, we are down about 0.05 right now. The Dow 0.1 to the downside, but tech stocks trying to lead here, 0.32, 0.16 for the composite and the 100. NASDAQ, TSX here in Toronto, 0.4 to the upside, having a nice day so far. Down in Brazil for the BOVESPA as well. A couple things we were talking about in the pre-market here. Zscaler, yeah, we're trying to get to 200. 200 just above here. Hasn't got there quite yet, but holding up at day highs, still looking great above some of these levels from going back a month or so ago for ZS coming off of earnings. Keep that one in mind. UAL, we talked about the travel names, not doing much. I wanted to show you this chart because this thing is stuck right in the middle of yesterday's range. Not doing a heck of a lot right now, but holding 58 right now for UAL. Guys, back over to you.
Okay, so here goes Ford, guys. I mean, this is just, let's just call it what it is today. You know, and when, like, I stick my neck out when I put out some of these levels in these calls, but I'm just super happy that this is what's come of this. So Ford today, a big move. My number one name is still MVIS, actually. But Ford right now continues to make that money. Yeah, my number one net stock, MVIS, so far today, guys. Not Ford, believe it or not, on this one. So that should tell you how many shares we did have on that MVIS break. But here we go, upside. We're going to take another small one. Oh, well, I mean, it'll be a decent position at 1350. But again, like, we haven't really been up here. Last time we were here, we touched 1366. So I am a little bit nervous about some of these highs here on Ford. So that's why we're very, very light now, waiting for that 50 break. If it comes in, then obviously we'll take some of that. So that's that trade. We only have a few on board. Space, we got out again here on the 1 minute chart. So a couple nice outs there. We'll wait to see if it does fail back. And then we're going to get out 2690 if it does fail. But hey, we're holding out for the moon on this one. So let's wait to see where space goes. Already taking out some beautiful trades on that first initial break of 2720. But again, guys, like, this stock has just been crazy. I like it because it's above the 50-day rate here, but still, like, space is way too high in my opinion here. So we'll wait for that one. If you're going to be a buyer of space, I'd buy it more, you know, in these mid-teens again, because it'll fall back down here. So watch out for that. But for right now, we're long, and let's just wait to see where it goes. Probably going to get out some Ford here in case that 50 was the top.
Yeah, it's sort of a key pullback here off that 40,000 in Bitcoin here, getting to this 39. And man, that hangouts is really annoying. My chat keeps closing. But Coinbase comes on that move. That's the only reason I'm showing here is Coinbase jumps back down towards that 240 level. Now I tried that little scalp trade. I got that long, missed my exit point. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So we missed that trade. This is it. Put up or shut up. 240, 39,000. Trying to hold on spot. If we break that, then that's going to be the hit for me on Coinbase. It is what it is. You got to take the pain if it does come through. Now I got out of AMC with full intention of finding my way back into it. That would have either been a dip, which we don't have here, obviously, or we can look at like 19 even as a bit of a break. Now I know there's actually some size here. Oh, as I say it, I just get triggered. I end up with a 96 fill there. So anyways, it's on BlackBerry because every now and then when I do this, it does not give you, there we go. For a split second, it did break that 19. I can tell you that pullback was so fast, I literally got filled 1896. You don't really see that very often, but we're breaking through the top. Now, we did take profit. This is a separate trade. You want to give this back to this cluster here like a 75. I don't want to give it all the way back into a 55 bottom. I think you can always jam back in if it makes that kind of a move. So I'll give it back to that quarter mark. If it goes past there, I'm only risking 20 cents. If we get above that 19 mark, you're talking about quarters and 50s to the upside anyway. So I like the risk reward. It's not about just following a stock because you're up on it before. Really? That easily? So very, very quickly, yeah, I'm just basically stopped out there. If it comes back into 1850, I'd like to play another entry point. I treat dip buys very differently from breakout trades. Always a tighter stop when I'm doing a breakout. And a dip buy, I have a predetermined price level that I'm comfortable getting long in front of, usually taking a bigger position, usually holding it longer. We'll have to see if that ends up happening here in AMC. Maybe it was just a bit of a shakeout. That's good for the bulls because it gives momentum to the upside if it now takes out 19, because the weaker hands taking that 19 break are already out, like myself.
Yeah, we still got trying to have diamond hands, man. We're still $1 in the money on that one. We just got out of Ford as well. So again, you know, big time trades. We're going to dap up to Ford and all of their investors, me included here, as it's investor day. Hey, I should hop on the call. But no, we got a show to do. We're going to wait to see here. F-150 Lightning has what spurned all of this. We're first long Ford, and you can talk to Auto Randy. What's his name? Trader TV Randy. Auto expert Randy here. We first bought this Ford together down here, $7. This break right here, the 756. There we go. We're long again. $657 here on Ford. I reloaded again, not reloaded. I added to said position right here at 11:31 and tweeted that one out. And now here we go, Ford. Here we go again. A nice trade to the upside. But again, nothing's nice until you get out. So let's hit the keys here and get the hell out of some of this trade. Nice little break there on Ford. Bye-bye. Man, are we just rocking today, Brenda? What you got, bud?
Another one very strong as well. A little therapeutics company here. KTRA up about 40%. Just pulled back from 220. This is a late out of the gate kind of move here. 170 to 220 on some positive data they just released on a cancer treatment. Phase 2/3 clinical trial for a cancer treatment that came back positive for KTRA.
More and more to add to the list. I'm going to go back to NBRV. This one's kind of that easy play here, so we'll drop the money train on it. It just broke $2 on this little flush here. Anytime it consolidates off a break like that, you got to take some more profit in. It's like that 230 area that we're trying to short in front of. We got 25s. That'll give that 10% move. Psychological also, that $2 level. If it comes down to the quarters, the 3/4 mark, I should say, $1.75, that's where I look to get all out. It does have a previous close at 150, but it actually had pretty solid news. And, you know, this stock is looking to break. And again, this is 162, the 50-period moving average. I probably should have mentioned that. If I didn't, I apologize earlier. I think it's another one of the reasons why you want to get in front of yesterday's close as opposed to usually where I'd be holding for an entire like 100% retracement here on NBRV. I'll look to get in front of that 50 period. That quarter mark looks pretty good to me, guys. That's what I'll play with. UAL continues to push to the upside here, so still in the midst of this break. It didn't quite get to 58.50. Last out, we're basically right here again in front of that quarters. I'm looking to see if we can't get some more shares, you know, probably in front of that 50 level. It might be greedy, looking to make a fresh high here as it's slowing down, the market's rolling over, so I'll move this into the 58.30 range, guys, to make sure that we're banking some profit. You do not want to look a gift horse in the mouth. Well, I mean, usually you don't want to do so. I mean, every now and then you got to play. You got to sit there and hold. I want to hold something on UAL for that continued press. So if I'm taking profit and reloading, that's what you got to do if you want to hold on to the core position. That's what I'm doing here for the last 10%, no matter what. And then Urban, basically been sitting in Urban Outfitters. It's been doing this yo-yo action off of this break. It's holding that 39 to the bottom. So I mean, just give you an idea. Just give you an idea here. Urban Outfitters. This is the all-time. This is that 52 area here to the upside, and this is sort of what I'm targeting. Now I like 42 for another breakout style trade here, but from that 40 break, which I got locked to the long side, the second time it's taken it, I like this $1.50 area into 42. I'll give it a 39 stop. I want to be adding on a 42 break if it has that kind of momentum. Sometimes you can't be afraid to short things at the bottom, long things at the top. Great looking chart here. I know Mark liked this name as well. So let's see if Urban Outfitters can't get that second play to the upside.
Okay, so we're $1.40 now in the money on AMC. And the thing is like, it's had this top a little bit too many times here. We'll probably just get out now if we can on AMC and just put this money in our pocket, man. It's been a big trade. But I mean, I'm wondering, we're not heavy on it. Obviously, like that out, probably the worst out you could find here today. 1742, it breaks 50. We get out. We were afraid that this was going to go lower, but no. And now it's coming up to the upside right now. So just a little, I was going to say, this is probably a good spot to dump it if it does come back in. But I'm going to use this 1850 level as a spot of concern for me. So we're going to use that 1850 level. I'm going to put the order in right now to get out. If it does break through a little bit lower, we'll get out of that one, 1850. I do have an offer upside right here as well. So if if it does rip up, we'll get out, but we will get out on a move down and put that dollar in our pocket, man. We got to. That's a big trade. So AMC, from AMC over to Ford again. 1355s has been our best out. So here we go. AMC will probably get us out in a second. Let's get out again here. Let's get out a little bit more if this can break through. Put an offer at 55. There it is. We got the tick out. We're using dark pool fills sometimes, so you'll notice that we sometimes get the fills quick, and sometimes we miss it depending on who's hitting what dark pool. I like the JP Morgan dark pool, so if you guys are watching, you can hit that as well. There's AMC out. So yeah, man, we gave up some profit. Actually, got to cancel out some of those high side trades there. Cancel everything now so we don't have to worry about it. Out of AMC, looking for a reload at some point, but right now, bigger fish to fry for me than this. So space coming to the downside. That's not going to be a good trade, obviously. So we're going to wait to see if it breaks. We talked about where this may break. Right here, 2680, where this move sort of started. So we're going to give it back to there on space. Let's see if it can hold 27, sorry. If we can hold that, that's good. May go another little bit long right here.
Yeah, I'm absolutely kicking myself over Virgin Galactic. That's probably one of the worst misses I've had. I mean, 27.50. I mean, that's the only price I ever talk about in this stupid stock, and it goes to 45, and I don't catch that short. Now it's coming. This is still an upward trend here. So I mean, I know if you're in the long trade, you're kind of thinking about this. It's still in a bit of an upward trend, but it does have to break this 24.50. It's now twice that it's tested it. So it needs to hold. It needs to at least break VWAP here to entice me towards anything other than the absolute perfect price entry point. That's just a ridiculous miss on my part, and sort of frustrated with myself over that one because that's what I wanted. That's what I got, or at least I should have gotten, and I did not. I want to reload UAL if I can here, but chasing it all the way up into VWAP is not necessarily what I wanted to do or get long off of that 58. It has been breaking and then giving you consolidation lower, so I'm thinking that 85, the 85, 90 area, if I can catch a little something better on UAL. I'm holding off. I want to put that lower high in and try and catch something a little bit better than, say, 58s. If I can get 15 cents better, that's the name of the game, what I'm going to try to go with there. Just to come over to, or sorry, not over to, but back to one that, not ignoring some of these names on purpose, but I wanted Li Auto on a breakdown. This thing obviously never broke down. Look at the move on Li Auto. So they report in, miss on guidance. The rest of the report looking pretty good. And then it is actually pressing through and testing its 50 period, actually broke through. There is another high here at about 22 even, or just above that you have to watch out for. So Li Auto going the other way. No breakdown on that name. Brendo?
More earnings action, guys. Abercrombie & Fitch reported ANF up 14%. I just realized this is still small cap territory, but ANF, it's about $2.5 billion on the market cap. 43.50 here, recent high for ANF off of good earnings.
All right, guys. So okay, I'm reloaded. Takes a bit for that to get going there. We reloaded our space and then got out there. So hey, that's what we were just flying in there on that space trade. So again, reload and out. Like now we can't. I mean, we're not going to lose on this name anyways, but that's a good reload down there. So we're going to make sure that we pay attention to where there's some strength here on SPCE. So in and out of that one. MVIS not doing much, but guys, I mean, there's what else are we supposed to do with Ford today, guys? Pop some wheelies off here. It's been a big day trade for us, and we'll do that, and then we'll also do a little bit of a wink because, man, I don't feel bad about Ford because we're absolutely destroying this name today, but wow, I mean, this bid at 1320, man, and then again on this break of 30s, and now we're going to the upside, another 6%. The account not only here trading blowing up, but we also have this one, and if you follow me on Twitter, you know the prices that were long this name. This has been a monster win for yours truly. So I don't know. I'm not even going to cash this out. These are long-term plays. So Ford right now at this breaking point again now and just taking off, man. Another 14-cent win on Ford. Like, are you kidding me right now? So lots of movement to the upside here, and super happy with the way Ford has turned out for us here today. Ford, MVS, and Space, and AMC, like, these are the only, I've only made four trades today, and it's sad because AMC I will be negative on, which is crazy because our only long is 1775 right there. This is a light one off 920 off the open, but 17, and I lose on it, so just bad outs there, but hey, you know, whatever, man. We're gonna hopefully, fingers crossed. We still got just under an hour to go, but I think we're 16-1 this month, and that should continue right now. So, you know, upside, let's go, but the day could be infinitely bigger. What I'm doing is focusing on the right names at the right time in the right stocks, right? So that's what I'm doing. That's a lot of rights there, but hey, 2 rights sometimes make a wrong. We do miss some opportunities, but I'm just going to stick with what's working for me, guys, and just keep on beating up
the
some
other
of
way
these
around.
names.
Isn't it 2 wrongs?
Let's just beat up names, guys, like we've been doing over and over and over again. Yeah, go ahead, Neil.
No, I was gonna say, isn't it 2 wrongs make a right? No, it's a great saying, and that's what that's what it's all about. Stick to what's working for you. It was Brent that just said it in the chat, and this is a great point here. For the short, like, you're only gonna see me in NBRV. I bungled the Nordstrom short. You can have direction all you want, but you're only going to see me in one short. Why fight the meme stocks if you think something's overvalued and making those parabolic moves and you want to fade it? Why fight those if you have setups that are just a little bit? And it's not to say they're more simple, but it's just easier to be disciplined with a short trade on NBRV. Or obviously there was that Virgin one at 27.50 that I didn't catch, but it's just, so stick with that. Go with what works. Like, you're not forced into making, or don't make a trade. If the market's strong and everything is ripping and following through, then you wait around for those perfect entries or the ones that make sense to you guys. So I don't have a way back into NBRV just yet. If it does happen, I'm likely to do it. There was one other one here, that PIRS, and this one's going to be frustrating for me because I had a stop here at 435 that I had forgotten all about. I got stopped out of the short here, never made the re-entry. And then I had to stop, and I don't like that trade. If I catch it when it just moved almost a full dollar, I usually would have canceled that. It ticked in. My rule is take it out. So yes, it would have been like a 20, 30 cent win, but that's not the way that I wanted the entry point, so I just got out of it and paid spread. Brendan, what's up, bud?
We saw this one pop up yesterday, late in the day, 5.5% already again for EHang. Remember, this move happened during the afternoon show. 21.40 up to 25 bucks. Some volume coming in now, back to 24 here for EHang.
You're going to get your wish right now. Space just motoring to the upside, guys. Where's my offer right now? I don't even have one. Okay. Oh, yes, we do. We just got out. I was going to say, thought I was offering 42. So there's a 31-cent winner right there. So we'll fire off the hot dogs again on Space. Right now, I mean, we're 32 cents in the money. I guess that actual win was just off this 20. So that was 20 cents there. Now we have this reload position. We reloaded it. That's how much we believed in it. But here it is, man. This is what you've been waiting for, Neil. 27.50. Let's see what happens. Neil's
there's a difference when, I mean, I already said this, guys. You cannot just be married to a price level. If you want a short off a key level like that and you miss it the first time and it puts in a lower high, you don't have to take the trade. And there's just absolutely no way, if I miss this trade here, that I'm going to chase the missed move. I've done that before in the past, and it screws you. So why would I do it here? Not going to happen. The only way I play it is on a failed break. Break 50, don't get to the next level, and come back below it. That's the way I'd like to enter it when it's the third time through, guys.
And there it is, man, and it's breaking through. Yeah, good commentary there. As we break through, let's go, baby. This is just, I mean, today's just been, to the moon day, guys. I mean, look at Ford. Like, this is where, we could sit back, relax. Someone said, am I wearing the Yeezys today? No. I've got on these black 3, what do they call these, Adidas, when they have the 3 stripes? There's 3 stripes? I don't know. Anyways, they're new. They're nice shoes. I like them. They're nice and comfortable. So, but after today, maybe we will buy some Yeezys right now as we're going to the upside. Look at this Ford chart, guys. We're just picking this apart. Pick. Like, I mean, obviously, wish we would have had some diamond hands. But hey, guys, money is money. So we're just gonna keep it tight to our pockets here, and then just get the hell out of some of these trades, man. Ford, wow, we're light now. We have about 10%, about 20% of this trade still on 50 long. So best out there 68. It does go to 75. That was probably a key turning point right there. So we'll hold on to a little bit and see what happens. 50 cents of the money for Space, though. That just keeps on going. Where do we get out of Space, guys? I don't know. I mean, this is a shortable stock. So it went up to 27. What is this, 27.80 or so 2 days ago? So that could be a level that we look at there as well. But whatever, man, 55 cents in the money. It just keeps on going, man. Slaying dragons left, right, and center, guys.
Yeah, and I'm going to rinse and repeat some action here on UAL. If it's going to be this level here at 58.25, we'll go in front of the quarters once again. This will happen to you if you're buying dips, and I'll show this to you every time it does to me. Everyone's looking at the same pattern. These higher lows get put in. I buy the dip on the way down more aggressively. The second time through, I'm actually looking for a better price. Well, relative to where the turn is, I don't get it. I don't aggressively take 58s. I talked you through why I didn't want to do it, and of course, it's going to look like it was a great ad. I want to hold this to a break of 58.50. I did like sort of the reopen play in that particular name, Urban Outfitters. And, you know, this is one of those, it's calmed itself down a little bit. I tried to catch it off of 39s, but it didn't come aggressively enough to that level. We like the hold now in Urban, and I like that 42 if it eventually gets there for a second play. So I'll be all flat if we get to the high of the day on Urban Outfitters. It's poised to hopefully go the other direction from what happened in Nordstrom's, which is breaking recent highs instead of Nordstrom's, which was breaking down towards that 33 level. So looking at the absolute opposite in the retail area. Sometimes you got to buy higher if that's going to be the case. I'm all out, getting $1.50 to $1.75. That's a price target I want for the last of my shares in Urban Outfitters. But that 42 looms as its own break to the upside there, so I don't want to miss it if I can. And then, you got to be kidding me, the NBRV. I'm kind of thinking at some point, if I actually like this one and want to get into more shares, I'm going to have to get more aggressive. Sometimes you look for that VWAP retracement. I think it's $2. That's probably the best you'll be able to get on any kind of a pullback on NBRV, so that's going to have to wait for that one.
All right, Space, it's bouncing around a little bit here, so we're going to put an offer at 80 and see if we can get out, 69-ish. High 60s anyways, to get out of this, as that was basically the last tick there, 68, 69. So there's the flush back to the downside right now on SPCE. So we're going to watch out for that one. Ford still rocking, man, back to 69. MVIS, what? I don't know. This is actually, Ford overtook MVIS as my number one stock here, guys, but still looking for some nice movement out of some of these names. That QS, I mean, I wish I could hit the rewind button because we'd be having a lot of this happening right now on QS. Come on, it's a New York stock. Let's go. We talked about it breaking. Remember we pulled the chart back, guys, and we went back to yesterday's or a couple levels ago. I can't do it now. Let's go to a 3-minute chart and see if it looks a little bit better. It was, what was it, 25.80? Yeah, right here. 25.80, 25.50. We were looking at that level, and I said, if we can break that, then there may be something there. Yeah, we missed that, guys. That's $1 to the upside, but thanks to Brendan for bringing us QS, because at least we talked about that level, and I just didn't trade it. We weren't sure on the news. I'm not even sure, Brendan, if we have any news on QS.
I didn't think there was any.
Yeah, so no, so still nothing. Just capitulation because, it's fallen down. I don't know. I still think that they're a buy. You know what? I may step into QS here at some point in the next couple of days. Follow me on Twitter and I'll tweet that out, or at least I'll tell you about it on the show. So let's watch out for QS here. May get involved in this, especially if there's no news and we're up 8%. I like that little bit of action there today. So QS on watch for sure, as Ford taking out days high and 52-week highs today. So that's been a good one. Brendan at the big screen with small cap recap.
Yeah, the only thing I really found on that QS was short interest, guys, was like 12, 13%. Not terribly high, but something to talk about anyways. Small caps today, OCGN, we mentioned right before the open if you joined us. I was talking about this $8 level. If you go out to yesterday, ends up being significant. The problem here, volume dying off pretty quick. I tried it right out of the gate here, but got stopped out basically flat. It's not doing anything, just chopping around basically flat on the session as far as the stock is concerned. NBRV, I had a stop that was way too tight. That got me out of half of this position, but ends up working anyway. So day highs here, or pre-market highs, ends up being the level that holds for that NBRV. Lastly, PIRS took a couple of shots at this. One long ends up being pretty good in the pre-market here, up to this pre-market high, which was 515, 520, I believe. This short, though, did not work, but you wait for the failure. I mean, the lesson here, if you find yourself with an urge to trade in the pre-market, go for a walk. Always helpful. 515 ends up being the high there and then gets flushed all the way down to $4. So PIRS, tons of volume again today, guys. Back over to you.
And sometimes I'm guilty of this where I'll be talking through something and then miss a trade. Other times it'll happen so fast that we miss out on it. Now, PIRS, we just talked about that breakdown price, that pre-market level at 440, and then I got that one. Didn't like the way it came in. It bounces off of 4 even. It comes to that same price. I like that entry much better. We got it. And it immediately tests back towards the low. So I get 36 because we're literally out off a level like that for 15 penny winner a couple of times there. Now, if it comes back in, we're talking about the second time through, probably working that 4 450 to VWAP area as opposed to that 435. I mean, everyone's going to be looking at that same level, so we'll kind of let it break and then see if we can't get into it after that play. I just want to come back to, well, there you go, to yours. Well, today it's your stock, certainly Virgin Galactic turns off of 27.80. That's kind of a random price, so it's still in that upward trend. It's trying to hold a higher low. It would be interesting because if it can hold a higher low at 27.50, that does give you a bit of an actionable trade if you wanted to try it to the short side. It's not nearly there yet, and the volume still okay, but it's not tapering off that much, I can tell you. So, watch out for Virgin Galactic. Usually you want to see that volume come down. Speaking of volume holding up, that's volume on AMC. Now, the breakout trade wasn't that good, but it was good to get out of it. It came all the way back in to 1820 and is now putting in a lower high. So there is some sell coming into AMC here, although I would note the volume pretty solid. Actually, no, pretty impressive is a word I want to say to the volume in AMC. I was going to wait till 20 to be taking any kind of a short. It's going to be hard to look at this sort of 1885 area and not look at something along the lines of a 10-15 cent stop if it comes back up there, especially given what I'm seeing on the tape, guys. So we're going to have a look at it. I think coin, it can get back to 245. It just held 239, 240, which is pretty solid. So I got my line in the sand on that particular name as well. And back over to this, well, I don't want to talk about Urban, but back over to UAL because I constantly miss these dip buys. And I know I'm sitting in the 80s, and I talked about wanting mid-80s into that 90 range, but I'm probably missing out if I don't take shares in front of 48 even. So this time I am going to step that bid up. I've been guilty of not being aggressive enough on dip buys when I like them. And have missed already one in UAL. I don't want to miss the second one. If I'm doing this, I kind of want to tighten the stop up, give it to 57.90 with an average price of 96. That won't turn it into a losing trade. And if it breaks it, then I can start thinking about where do I like it more aggressively if this does give you some of those bottoms from earlier on in the session. I'm not thinking that's going to happen, but I'm planning just in case it does. Brendo?
Rensola, another little Chinese construction company. I was going to say NFT fintech, but it's a construction company. SOL, 15% here after, I think they reported yesterday after market, but decent earnings here for this one up to 890. I mean, we're getting back into some key levels here as well. Has room to 10 or 10.5, but SOL on the move, guys.
I don't know what you do with the
one name that we haven't talked about too much is Palantir here yet today, guys. Nice movement to the upside. We don't have anything long, but we just keep, we keep pounding the chest on Palantir, guys. Another 2.5%. Our last buy is 1850. We love that name. We love Palantir, and we're loving trading today for sure. Only 4 names traded: AMC, Ford, MVIS, and Space. And they're all putting us right now into a money situation. It doesn't get, it's pretty big for me here today. Look at Ford, 78s now, guys. I mean, on here, if you're just joining us late, you have to subscribe for free to this. 1320 Ford. We talked about why we liked it. That's our investor day. You see that star? Like, whenever we put stars on there, it means that these are going to be big trades for us. It means that we like these levels. We're putting on real risk. And there it is on Ford, man, straight to the upside. The #1 stock here today for us, Ford, to the upside. So good, good look there on that name. Space, still bouncing around 50s. We got a 50-cent winner on, but I don't know. We tried that 80 level. We missed it. We talked about, the funny thing about this was we talked about how the high on Space was that 27.87. And then there today, again, this is just a 3-minute chart. We did get up to that level, basically 10 cents away. What a great short that was. I was even talking about it, reversing that and then even going into that short. But we'll see. Still could fly up a little bit here. We've already cashed in a lot on this name, so I'm not too worried about it. But hey, I'll still get out if we can come back up. So that's a name that we're looking at. And then MVIS, I'm still holding for the moon, but who knows? We'll see. Our best out here, 1654 on a nice move. So MVIS still holding out hope for this name.
Yeah, I'm not holding out hope for Hangouts chat, which is a pain in the butt. And we're getting a bit of a move back into the upside on that Coinbase. So take a couple of legs out on that trade. Just want to quickly go back to you because my chart wanted to kill me there. Just came back up to that 43. I got another offer in front of 45 we mentioned. This is a hold for the high for that 250 level. No matter what happens, doesn't matter what price I buy a dip on, I'm going to be all flat of any longs when it tests that 250. It was the same thing when we had that first break at 245. It'll be the same thing when it just held the bottom here. 250 is the reference price. I know they don't always matter, but you don't have much to work off of when you have a stock like this, so that's what you have to do. it just feels like over and over again, this 58.25 is beginning to be a bit of an annoying thing here on UAL. So I got an offer in front of it. What I'm going to go ahead and do is just, if all I can get is 20 cents instead of like 35, that's what I'm going to take. So you can't ignore the tape. If that's a scalp trade that's going to be in there, I'm holding a core position regardless in UAL. So if we get that tight stop break, I'll hunt for another one to the long side. But as long as it's going to tighten up this move, I'm going to have to take smaller and smaller gross profits within that bit of a range here, guys. And then PRS, which I just talked about getting back into, I thought, and I'd said if it bounces off that low, that $4, we'd probably look for like a 450. You can kind of tell that obviously didn't happen. We've broken $4 and then come right back above it. Now, as I should talk about this, let's say it first, or get out first at 405. When I see failed breaks like that, if I was looking at sort of the short end of the trade and I shorted $4 and you look at this level in the afternoon on the pullback, pulled back into like for 396 in the post market, then bumped the upside and gapped up. If I see it break 4 even, go to like 98, not even that 95, 96, and snap back to the upside, the biggest fear is that, okay, yeah, maybe it could run further. That's great. But if it pops up here, good chance you are coming at least to that 35 mark, if not 40. So why am I going to stare the gift horse in the mouth, not take the profit? That's what I'm going to go ahead and do. If PRS wants to come back up and wants to give me a short 35s to 50s, I will gladly wait for that price. But there's just no way I'm going to stare that one in the face. Did I miss a move from 5? Sure. But you can't hunt for $1 just because you missed the first. If 30 cents is what you get, 30 cents is what you take.
Yep, exactly. Don't worry about. Sometimes trading fees, things like that. Whoa, GameStop's is at 240 right now. We haven't actually looked at that yet.
What?
I've just been.
No.
Yeah, but I don't know how high it's been today. So it's been as high as 245. So okay.
Oh.
So GameStop right now, nice little move to the upside here, as you can see today. I mean, this is 3 minutes. Let's go over to a 1 minute chart. We're basically at the highs here. So let's go back over to a 1 minute chart, just see where some of these pullbacks have happened. Normally I like to take a pullback into VWAP, but as you can see here, VWAP doesn't look that spicy here. It hasn't really held too much today. So maybe not a trade there off VWAP, but looking for more areas to get involved here with this name. GameStop, wow, just making moves, guys. I've been trading AMC, you know that, but this GameStop 244 break high, that could be something. I mean, what if it's not? It must just be. We did note that GameStop had a share offering a couple days ago, but yeah, that doesn't seem to have mattered. 244 upside right now. Watch out for that kind of a break. Otherwise, 239 on the downside. I just don't know. I said that I wouldn't be shorting any of these things today. I'm not sure that's going to be a good move. Here goes 244 right now. Wow. Congrats, man. Anybody on that GameStop? It's definitely a tip that I missed, but that's a monster move.
Jaeger bomb, by the way, I'm secretly shorting games. Hell no, I'm not shorting this. I'm not short this thing. I'm not. I never say never because I've shorted GameStop in the past. Most of the success has been on like when it actually halts every now and then. You get those pushes to the upside, overextending itself, and then you get those entries off of halts or maybe off of like a 250. But it's never been the easiest thing to do when you're sort of random picking out levels. And then the types of setups that I like for short trades. That crap it's just, I don't want to say non-existent, but it's usually not there for you on GameStop. You have to switch your game up, and I look for those bigger moves to the upside. This would have been one if it had extended to 250 maybe, but no. I'm not doing it yet. I might think about it, guys. It's sort of getting frustrating because I thought, here we go, the Urban Outfitters would just be a bigger mover here. I thought if we're going to be holding that 39, I probably should have averaged in. I couldn't quite get there. If it gets to that high of the day, I do have an offer to get some out. If it breaks through that, I'm holding the rest for 42s. But this is really starting to slow down. The volume's really picking away at me. I don't mind holding this all day long because I thought Urban Outfitters would be that kind of a long trade. Unfortunately, it's just not moving as fast. So you have to be prepared for that eventuality. Same thing over here in UAL. It's testing this 57.90. So the last entry price I had gave me an average of that 95, 96. If it breaks 90s, I'll just get out of it for basically like a 5-cent hit and hunt for a better price. That's a dark pool fill. If it actually printed down to 76, I would be out and looking for a new bottom in UAL. This is that time of day here, Sean, where you don't want to be throwing away the coinage that you've been making earlier on in the session. So. And it's not about, it's actually not about whether you're up or down at this time of day. It's just that time of day where you don't want to be recklessly trading new stocks. You wait for Brendan to give you something new, which it looks like he's about to do.
I just saw a note on this one. CVS guys and Walgreens both down significantly today. There was a note out suggesting Amazon might be considering actual brick and mortar pharmacy locations. So heads up if you're in any of the pharmacy type stocks. CVS, Walgreens, both negative so far today. It's 10:30. Let's get a quick check on what's happening over in Europe. 1 hour left in the session over there. What's up, V?
Hey guys, Europe is mixed as investors monitor inflation. The non is down more than 2% as Berenberg downgraded the stock to sell. Back to you.
Yeah, pretty choppy session, both sides of the pond today, guys.
All right, Ether now starting to go, so we can look at some Maras, different plays like that. Ethereum now going through 2,800. It looks like, come on, Mara, load up. We'll get a chart going for that. Here it is. Here's the Ether chart right here. This is a 1 day. Of course, we're talking about Ethereum, ETH. Move that over. Starting to go. Oh, let's go. Starting to go here. Where is it? There it is. 2780. So we're looking to take out that high right now. So you could check out like Mara up $25 today. Not up $25, but a big move up there. We talked about a little bit of that with Mark Roberts earlier. There it goes, man. A nice move upside with MARA on some of those breaks. But 2540 right there. Not a horrible spot. It's ticked it a couple times. I guess if crypto goes, which it's kind of going today, then you may get that break of 2540 on Mara. Wow, man. I mean, Palantir, guys, keep the dream alive on this one. We talked about if you can rewind the show just a little bit, it's been a roller coaster ride on Palantir, but the good thing about it is, I don't know if you guys remember a couple days ago when we were noticing the strength in Palantir into NASDAQ weakness. That was an all clear, man. We were already long 1850, but you know, that strength into NASDAQ weakness, like we've had now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 of the last 9 days, there's one little red one in there. May I zoom in there? That you could see right there. That's probably not even a red day, to be honest with you. But anyways, 8 of the last 9 days, perfect for Palantir, as right now it's coming up to that 50 period moving average that I love on the daily chart. So hell yeah, to anybody that's holding this long with me on PLTR, the dream is still alive. Let's go up to 40.
And speaking of dreams still alive, I mean, oh wow, I mean Zscaler is still up 13% despite this pullback off of, you guessed it, 200. So, look, sometimes, and we talked about this happening on today's show, and it's been a good morning. There's no question about that. But, there's going to be missed opportunities here and there. And this is why we'll cover all of the names in the pre-market. This is what's on the watch list. These are the key levels to watch. So if you're long in a Zscaler and it's like, and you haven't looked at the higher time frame, this is why you watch a 200 level like this, because it screams to the upside. It's already up significantly. It did give a breakout trade, fair enough. But it turns on a dime at 199.77. And now it's putting in a lower high off of 196. This is a nice little actionable trade here. The market bouncing back, just returning to Greensville on both the ES and the NASDAQ. So that dip, I guess the green shirt did it for Ms. V there. We dipped briefly to negative, I think we did, and the ES we did as well, but I'm not sure if the NASDAQ did. And back into positive territory. Zscaler, strong name in the security space, cybersecurity space, of course, that is. 196, looking for it to retake that. Now, do I think I'm holding that to a 200? No, probably not. You're looking for more of a scalp trade off that. Give it to like that 97 half, get you a little buck 50, something in that range, and then look to maybe hold a tiny little bit for like a 198, 199, similar to now what you look for on that UAL for me, guys, in front of that high of the day. But that's pulling back in, and if it breaks low, I'm not done with the long. I'll probably test that off the bottom. But first things first, Zscaler through 196, had no trades up until now, and I still won't have one unless it breaks that upside. I'm not bottom picking. I'm only taking a break if it happens.
Yeah, Zscaler, yeah, we love that 192 break. That happened early, but good look on Zscaler. Yeah, that 200 level, I remember, Brendan, when you brought that to us, that was a crazy one. Should have taken it at that level. Ford coming back in. We're almost out of that one, so we just got to find some new names. BlackBerry, 52-week low, $4. It's at 9 right now. So let's see where BlackBerry wants to go. Upside maybe on BlackBerry today, 940, 950. We still have a big way to go, man, on this name. You can see the beatdown that's already happened on BlackBerry. It's crazy. It only got some love up here because, of course, It was one of those, not highly shorted, but it was in the 20s. We'll find out what the percentage is today, but they're back. They're hitting this stock. It's above its 50 period moving average. So to me, that's obviously a good sign. We talk about that on numerous different names. 955, good break spot there, but I don't want to go long. I'm thinking the other way here on BlackBerry. Let's put on a short right now and give it up to that day high of 955. So BB will go short on BlackBerry. Oh, we might have missed it right there. We'll see if we can put it on. Offer at 30. There it goes. Okay, offer at 39. We're now short 39. BlackBerry, guys. So let's give this. Here it goes. Instantly in the money. 3 pennies. It's not a big win, but we can fire off some hot dogs for that. What's up, Brendo?
That's about 8.5% for BlackBerry, so one of the lower ones as far as short percent is concerned. Beyond Meat, Sean, starting to go a little bit here. Day highs, 125, just broke there on volume, 4.5% again for BYND.
You guys know that we had that Beyond Meat pegged with a rune there. Look at this, man. We just took this trade on BlackBerry.
Money.
You know you're running hot when this is what happens. Instantly just cashing out of some BlackBerry here on the downside, 34s. We'll see if we get even 33s for a little bit here. Again, depending on your position, hold it, don't, whatever you want. You have 1,000 shares here, instantly down. There's your quick $70. Buy yourself a nice little sausage or something. Maybe get some porchetta for lunch. Nothing wrong with that. We'll go to the downside there. Couple nice outs there on BlackBerry. Hopefully even lower and lower and lower to go on that name. But so far, so good, man. There's Ford, BlackBerry, MVIS, and Space.
Yeah, what's interesting? We used to have a good porchetta place that we would get all of the time when we had a full floor. Of course, with COVID, it's not going to be full. Brendan brought this name to our attention, that KTRA. I don't remember exactly the time that he did it, but since then, it made a press to 225. That's just a pretty big pullback. You can sort of see the opening range bottom at 10 o'clock is going to be 185. That's where it turned around. Now looking to put in a lower high. This is on volume. It's making another spike. But anytime a stock fails shy of a level like this on the daily, like a 234, I tend to think, okay, aggressively, you can start thinking about shorts below that price because, look, if it tested 235 here, I'd be scared of it breaking through. If it makes any kind of a reversal shy of that high of the day, I'll go with the high of the day out as opposed to that 235 level. So I'm watching that KTRA. It's sort of ramping back up on volume towards the high. I didn't trade it the first time through because I wanted to see it get to that high or not. Now that it's failed, let's see if we can't catch a reversal on that KTRA. Brendan, as usual, giving the hot fire. That's another one that haven't traded yet, but because of him, we're going to get into.
We're ready at the big screen with Brendan with Sector Watch, I believe. What's up, Brendo?
Huh?
Hey guys, let's have a look at the S&P 500. We are positive on the day, only just though, 0.13% currently for the S&P. Bit of a mixed board so far. If you go the far corner over here, you can see WBA in the Consumer Staples Group down 4.2%, earnings name. BLL up here in the Materials Group, 3.8%. This group though, material stocks among the leaders to the downside today, very weak. In that group. This group, communication services, very strong on the other hand, offsetting that, and then some real estate stocks and energy stocks. I just noticed the crude oil inventories number came out bigger drawdown than expected last week for the first time in a while. So watch out on energy stocks. Consumer discretionary shares leading to the upside today. There's Ford, 7.3%. GM right beside it here being dragged along to 1.7. Penn National, about 2 or 3 days in a row. Penn National having a good day. 3.2%. RCL, LBS win, all the reopening plays to the upside again today. Apparel makers over here. This is Under Armour, 3.6% to the upside, having a nice day. Gap down here, Best Buy as well. L Brands, Ulta Beauty, a lot of the retailers popping up on earnings. Healthcare stocks offsetting this and then some. So we're kind of flat overall. We are positive, as I said, 0.16%, but strength coming mostly from the communication services group and the consumer discretionary group today. Guys, back over to you.
Thank you very much there, Brendan. And look, it's not I called it the ugly stepchild. I don't know that it is. But it probably was the one to short. Look, you could go back and look at some missed opportunities, but I always try to review both winning trades, losing trades, and then missed opportunities just so I can improve my trading in the future. I don't know that I would have had this cost, but this is right around when we're hunting for dip buys in AMC, and then you get the rollover in costs. It tests all the way on a wick to the pre-market bottom at 20 even. So, you know, and I sort of said this was the one I'd try to go to. I obviously never did, so that's on my face. If it gets back to this high, this 2250 area, as I sort of watch to see where AMC and GameStop are going, and you're not screaming through highs of the day there, or you're rolling over, that's the one I think to play. It's had less momentum in it. It's only up like 2%. So when it gets to simply bump up, there's just not as much buy action there, and it falls like an absolute rock when it rolls over. So that's just a bit of a look there on KOSS, the headphone maker. And I believe it or not, I actually used to have a pair of these on the floor. Of course, they were pretty old, so I had to throw them out because they don't work anymore. There's this breakdown on UAL. I still like this play. It's still going to be up on the stock, but it has been a bit of a disappointment. The break was okay, the dip buy only decent, and the last entry point we're not going to have a winner on. If it breaks any lower, I want to see if we can't hold some of these pre-market levels. Maybe not to 57.20 where you see that bottom here, but certainly this cluster where it held 57.50. That's a more defensible level on volume there. So if we get down another 30 cents or so and the market's still holding up, that's where I like UAL. This probably needs a bit of a market assist to make a secondary push through, and it still gives you a chance at a 58.50 breakout. And of course, it's a trade you can revisit on momentum as the reopen play does continue here. About 15 minutes to go, just a few positions still on Urban. It's been like 70 cents in the money at most. It's been out of the money like 40 or 50, not doing a heck of a lot there. And that NBRV, I'm not sure we're going to be able to get back into this one on the show as it continues to hang at the low of the day at $1.90. And I'm not sure, I don't know if we're going to get that ZipRecruiter open up. It seems like we never do, but we only have 15 minutes for Zip to get going. I don't think we're going to catch it open on the direct listing either.
No, probably not. But right now, I mean, look, we didn't trade too often today, 124 fills, but you know, we're still at our goals, we're still making them, and I'm trying to make the best possible trades for you guys. Like one in, just killer trades. There it is right there. Look at BlackBerry, guys, down to 24. Like we just took this trade minutes ago. So nice little short there, 940. Look where we're at right now on BlackBerry. So good trade down to 925. We're getting out, so get some bids there. We just took a 26, we took a 30. More downside here on BB, guys. So there's an easy trade for us there. And like I said, I put in the chat before, someone was saying, I think Neil was talking about this as well, like, who cares, if you want to be short something, you just get short. Like, it doesn't matter if you're not comfortable shorting. If you like the position and it plays out for you, then you take said position. So there it is right there. We've crushed a couple names today short, right? So here's BlackBerry, just another one. I'm actually waiting for Macy's as well to take out the bottom, so we can look at that. There's BlackBerry. Oh, no, Macy's the other way. So that was a good little look, but we do have Macy's on the downside, 1775. I like that level if it ever breaks. May not do that though. What's up, Brendo?
Just saw an interesting note on Apple here. Apparently, Apple is looking for someone with crypto experience, reading this to quote, with crypto experience to lead partnership efforts on alternative payments, according to a job post. So Apple possibly looking for someone in the crypto space, guys. Just popped up on that.
Where there's smoke, I mean, I don't know. Like when they hire a bunch of engineers that are proficient at possibly making cars, as Elon Musk said, that's how he knew they were going to be making a car eventually. So maybe there's something to that there. I only mention that because someone just said, you guys aren't talking about Tesla. Honestly, I didn't see Tesla bounce off 600. And if I had, I mean, I probably would have been looking at this one as it got 601. Are you kidding me? Making a bit of a break upside. It's only 2% here, guys, but a bit of a move here in Tesla. That's why I mentioned Elon. This is a nice area that we're getting to, this 620, some consolidation last couple of days. It had failed to break through 14. And I know we've only gotten a couple of dollars above that at that 616 level, but there is all kinds of solid real estate. And apologies for the daily chart not fully loading. That's kind of annoying, but you don't need to see anything more than the 15 here. This is the breakout looming. It's gone through that 614, 615 area. I think if you get a pullback, you're probably looking at this cluster like to hold at a 609, 610. Otherwise, you're taking the top off and looking for a 6-quarter mark to the upside here on Tesla. So strong move here. We're not ignoring stocks, guys. It's just there's a heck of a lot moving today, and you pick your poison. I mean, we just finally broke VWAP on Coinbase. That's about $4 in the money, but I'm looking for that 248, 249 in front of 250 on Coinbase. I'm not chasing a move on Tesla. I already dug in and along, and Coinbase, the one I usually like to do so in the mornings. Tesla, great trade. I'd probably be looking for it to pull back into VWAP as the market is slowing down a little bit going into lunchtime.
Yeah, let's just cheer on Coinbase, guys. You know, the last buy we had there, where's Coinbase? There it is. Yeah, 231. So you could have actually had you could have had pretty close to that today, 239 and change. So I don't know. I think Coinbase has, you know, a lot of blue skies ahead for them. And yeah, look, Apple plus crypto. I mean, I've already said that the tailwinds and the catalysts behind Apple are huge. So I'm a buyer of Apple. I continue to be. There's obviously, darn it, we'll have to look at a daily chart over here. Apple's been, I don't say it's broken, but it's been struggling for sure on the daily chart. So it's not an overly sexy stock. You have a lot of names that are part of the reopen, and Apple's just not going to be one of those. So you're just going to have to bide your time on this, just like we did on Facebook. You know, we bought Facebook in the 270s when it was sort of barcoding like Apple. The thing about Apple is it's just in control of the whole world. So that's going to be a little bit of a problem because the NASDAQ needs to go, right? And Apple's such a huge part of it that it may take a while for that to get going. I thought the same kind of things about Facebook and talked about that down here in the 270s, right? That's our last buy when we broke back above VWAP there, or VWAP 50 period. And now you're at all-time highs for Facebook, up to 330 right now. So a good little movement there from FB. But just to give you guys an update, I don't sleep on Apple. And then also those sleeping with Ford will soon be sleeping with fishes because this name is just crushing people if you're short to the upside here today off that investor day. Brand new 52-week high. We've been loving Ford. It's been on the sticky note probably every day for a week. You know, every single level we've liked on Ford, and we've crushed it. We've taken it. One of my number one stocks, definitely for the last couple of weeks, is Ford. Another 23-cent winner on. If you check this out, buy early, 13.20 off the sticky note. Buy again, 13.36 right there. Buy again, 13.50, like ding, 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 all the way to the upside. And we ring registers now. So we're bouncing off 74. The high is 80. This makes sense to me. This probably worth getting a little bit off. Up 7% for Ford, guys. We're long at 7 and we're long at 11. So good little move, but this is only upside. Our AMC trade, pretty happy with that out now. We weren't happy with it before. We're definitely not happy about that. But here we got out at 18.50 on that first break. It does go right back to 19. So that was foolish. But then there's the drop again. We now finally broke through VWAP. So let's see if AMC can get exciting now to the downside. Be careful, guys, if you're still long. It just broke that VWAP. So, you know, tread lightly, I would think, here with AMC.
Yeah, I mean, when the volume comes out of those names, you do have to watch out. I saw someone saying that in the chat, and you're absolutely right, guys. I mean, especially at this time of day, there can be pullbacks, and they'd be a little bit deeper here. I'm just sort of noting Zip, indicating like an $18 open price, which, you know, not too crazy and impressive. Remember, it is a direct listing, guys. There's no new shares. I think it's like 86 million of 130 are being offered from the insiders. So that's going to be the name of the game. And sometimes that does denote a little bit of weakness in the name. So that's all you got to work with. I'm going to come back to Virgin Galactic, if only because I just saw it bounce off of about 26.75 here. So it doesn't turn at the level that I liked. Clearly, that would have been the entry at 27.50. You could have had it the first time. It's trying to hold this a second time through. This isn't about the meme stocks, but if you are catching a bit of a rollover, the volume comes down, and they start to all work together, you have to watch out for a breakdown in some other high-flying names as well, or heavily shorted stocks, and Virgin Galactic would fit that bill. So I kind of look towards this. If it finally breaks like 26.75, 26.80, breaks down the view up, that's a decent scalp trade, probably into the 26.50 area. Looking to catch initially like a 20 to 25 cent move, and then maybe you can extend it into 26 even. Otherwise, we're going to be holding either the top end of the range here, and you're probably actionable throughout lunchtime to short the 50 to 60 area off the high of the day. So I'm not necessarily playing the long breakout until it gets into that power hour where you know we will be back, because we always are. And at 3:15, we're going to come right back. We're going to trade the close live for you. I promise you some of these names that we're in, maybe we'll have some of them. Maybe there'll be a few new ones. But it will always be entertaining, and it's always pretty exciting. It goes by almost too fast there, but there's always a lot of actionable trades, and you really have to narrow that focus in that last power hour. Sometimes you get some ideas forming now. We get these setups here where you look at these things holding VWAP or holding these higher lows, and then you get breakouts at 1:30, 2:30, sometimes even after 3 o'clock. For now, space could be one of them, but the way the memes are coming back in, I'm not so certain. My next leg is likely to be short if it breaks 26.80 on Virgin.
Yeah, Virgin Galactic, good one, that's for sure. We have that. That's been a monster. Yeah, no smoking hopium. Yeah, don't smoke hopium. Good job there, Trader Joe. I think that's definitely right, guys. You don't want to like say I pray for something to happen in a name. Just trade what you see, and you will be rewarded. Trust me on that one, guys. It's been a fantastic day. Only a couple minutes left. Interested to see earnings. We know we have Nvidia coming up tomorrow, I believe, or tonight. Palantir here. Oops, it's not a NASDAQ stock, Sean. Still kicking, guys, up that 3%. We like Palantir today, just haven't been able to get in, man. Like off open, we were just so concerned about Ford, MVIS, and just rocking those stocks that we didn't get into that. But that 2150 on Palantir, another good one there. So missed opportunity, Palantir 2150, should have had that. But we don't. One of my favorite segments, because it does involve some crypto and the Canadian dollar. So what's up with Money Talks, Brendan?
Indeed, yeah. Currency time. Let's jump right into it here, guys. We're seeing a little bit of a bounce back today in the U.S. dollar. Some strength coming back in. Finally, it's still bouncing around at long-time lows for DXY, if you want to have a look at it. But a lot of these red because of that. So the U.S. dollar bouncing means everything else going to be under pressure, including, the Canadian dollar down about 0.25% today, back towards 83, or 82.5, I should say, coming off of 83. British pound, same story, was down about 0.3 early on. It's starting to rally back up. 141 for the British pound still, so very, very strong. The euro, 122 down as well on the day. Cryptos, everyone paying attention to, though, 39,200 holding here as support for Bitcoin. We mentioned 37,000 key level on the daily chart, and then 30 below that. So we're starting to hold higher, it looks like, for some of these. Ethereum as well, back above 27.50, as we said, and Ripple trying to test $1, guys, up on the day as well. Back over to you.
Dollar. We only got 5 minutes to go. So look, we're rounding towards that close. I just want to update a couple of things here. I'm going to be in Urban. I said I might be in Urban Outfitters all day long, and it does feel like that could be the case here. And I want to give you the 15-minute look on this chart, guys. So we're going to pull it just a little bit back. You can see where we're trying to break out from that 40 even area that we looked for. You could have had the first break or the second. I ended up with the second trade because I didn't want this trade off of the open. Give it back to that 39. 42 is the level on the daily chart. That's going to be this high. We got there in March. We've peeled back since, and then of course going into earnings, where we're looking to make a bit of a retest. So will I be holding on to it in the afternoon? I don't know. But if it holds 39, unless it breaks 42, yeah, you'll still see me in this long position. But got that one, and then of course we still have that NBRV, no problems there. Coinbase broke VWAP only briefly before immediately not immediately. I mean, it came back, but I want to see that follow through. Is it greed trying to get the same price we got before? Potentially, but that 40 bottom did help. It was a fail break. It held that 39, which if you peel just a little further back here, look at the afternoon. That was afternoon support at that 39 level. That's where we sort of like load up. I would like to see it get to that 47. No matter what, flat in front of 250, that reference price. It was big on the way down. On the way up, I expect no less. So probably a pullback, maybe giving you a VWAP even if I get that win. And then you're looking for that 250 breakout potentially in the afternoon. So coin always on the radar. You have to note the fact that we're still holding below 40,000. How great would it be to simultaneously get 40,000 breaking with 250 on Coinbase? I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I'd love to see 250 on Coinbase as well. Cashing in on many accounts with Coinbase right now, but I'm not getting out. We love Coinbase to the high side, continuous for a very, very long time. AMC here, we'll see if it can break through. Not sure again on that name, but we will wait to see AMC right there, back to 19 almost. 1860 bounces off VWAP, so maybe we can look at VWAP there now as something. It bounces around here, only moves off of about 25 cents off VWAP. Here it goes down. I forget about those wicks. Let's just call that about 10 cents. So we do have now some target ideas here for AMC. Still up that 13%. Very, very impressive. Congrats, guys. Ford, wow, days high again. 83s, Brendo.
It started off very impressive for AMC, but volume kind of dying down at this point as well. Let's talk about earnings, because there are some interesting ones coming after market tonight and before the open tomorrow, guys.
NVIDIA. I don't know. Anything else there? No, there's obviously a few other things in there. I mean, American Eagle, we can go into the retail space. Best Buy as well. Medtronic, I haven't heard that name in a while, and probably the only time you're ever looking at it is off of those earnings, and Okta as well. I kind of wanted to slap myself in the face because I just noticed Pinduoduo at the 133 break. Wow, that dropped like an absolute rock. So we sort of talked about the Chinese risk, and when 133 went, it just didn't even look back. So, sometimes you look at those levels and they matter, but it was never going to be the first stock I looked at 9:30. Maybe it should have been. Anything on that board you like there, Sean?
Yeah, I like Snowflake. We recently bought NVIDIA at 604, and we tweeted that one out. So follow me on Twitter, and we'll find that. I like Snowflake. We talked about that again. I think, I don't know if I want to get involved with it, though. We missed that bottom there. Let's go. That's the 1 minute crashed. Okay, good. And then this one's not loading, so here we go. Let's load it up one more time. Snowflake only up that 1% today. Fine, but that's still higher than the market. What a great, this was the buy on Snowflake right here, 210, breaking that previous low off of that bottom. So already missed about 15% or so. No, what I'm talking about 8% or so on Snowflake, but a pullback into 200. And I'm a buyer of this name, guys. I think this is a baby Palantir. Baby Palantir, as we've said a few times here in the data spot. So Snowflake, a good one. Remember, as I cough here, because I've been talking too much like normal, make sure you stay hydrated, guys. Hydration Nation, long and strong. Arun, a member of Hydration Nation, as well as you guys, many of you guys on the chat are. So make sure you stay hydrated. I also did pop our sponsored, unsponsored Kirkland vitamin there, daily vitamins, so keep those going. We're going to end the show at virtually our highest spot we've been at all day. Of course, MVIS. Someone asked about this MVIS trade. The reason why I haven't talked, oh yeah, my chart's going to break down. I'm still waiting for 1520. This is 5%. I got to close this. This is literally 5% left on MVIS, so it's nothing big, but I'm going to look for levels to load back into this name. It's just as the meme stocks fall, MVIS is one of them. So we're definitely not holding on to this one for very long. I think it was 1520 was a level that I liked. Look at Ford though, guys. Now 88s. We're long at 51s. We were initially long at 40s. So Ford, yeah, unfortunately the charts aren't going to work here, but 1389. Wow. We've been all over Twitter with that one. I hope you guys have traded Ford and traded it well today. Big stock.
Yeah, and we're going to end with another one, guys. So we'll go with a little bit of a power up to round out the morning show. We talked about two levels on Zscaler. We missed 200 on the short side of the trade. We talked about 196 when it finally broke. I mean, this is going to stick out like a sore thumb, holding VWAP and finally breaking. I like that $1.50 move into it, so we take some out halfway through. Maybe you get that second extension into that 198, you get the 150 there. So nice little breakout trade. It gives it to you at 11 o'clock or just before that. Why not? You get picky towards the end of the day. Make sure you only put on trades that are clear and obvious entry points. Oh, baby, I'm hungry, and this is a fantastic national day. Let's go to Miss V and not keep you guys waiting. I know you want to see it.
Hey guys, it's a fun day so far. I hope you're all in a positive territory, and we will see you back at 3:15 p.m. Eastern Time to trade the close and summarize this trading day. And for now, happy National Blueberry Cheesecake Day, everyone.
Yep, big fan of cheesecake for sure. I'm a big fan of blueberries, so blueberry cheesecake gets multiple thumbs up.
I wish I had 4 hands so I could give it 4 thumbs up. Any kind of cheese. I actually love chocolate cheesecake is my favorite. I know that's kind of lame to say because chocolate everything is good, but blueberry right up there. I mean, raspberry it doesn't matter, man. And there's no way you can say that this isn't fantastic, Brennan. Even you love this.
I feel like we just had a cheesecake day.
It was different type of cheesecake,
Every day.
Brandon. It was.
Yeah, why not? Cheesecake's great, guys. It's about that time. It's been an exciting day. Come back at 3:15 because we'll do it all again to end off the day.
100%, guys. We're going to be right back. Miss V's got the green. It turned the ES bouncing from slightly negative into positive territory. Let's see if we can't hold
Ford
it
is
up.
at 93 right now, by the way.
I mean, running to the upside. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. And that's the thing. Market is being dragged up by the bigger names, guys. Overall, I mean, we're barely upside. It is some of the bigger names that are holding this up for the time being. So come back at the close and right down the line, keep wearing that green, Miss V. Brennan, not that enthusiastic, even though you did endorse the cheesecake there. I'm Neil Roberts, and for Sean Katina, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. We'll see you at the close.
Bye, guys. Bye.